What up, y'all? It's your boy Jimmy Dukes, and we are here in Atlanta, Georgia for the ATL meetup.
The A.
And we got a couple people lined up for conversations in Georgia. Right now, we're sitting with Mr. Bandit Gaming. Can you just spell your name for us?
So spell BVNDIT, but it's pronounced Bandit.
Right?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Why did you pick it like that? Obviously, Bandit is such a normal name, so putting the V, what was the reason behind it?
My little background, I got a musical background.
Okay.
Of a well-known group in Atlanta called Bandit Gang. I mean, a lot of people probably know Bandit Gang Marco, of course. That's my brother. Shout out to him.
Hey.
But that's how I came up basically with Bandit Gang, because it was just Bandit Gang Rook, like my Instagram at first. And then I just switched off we got to really, something that's going to click, something that makes sense, something that revolves around everything that I do anyway. So it's Bandit.
That's cool. Yeah. When I met you here last year and I was looking you up, I couldn't find it, and then I saw the V. I was like, oh, okay, that's him.
It's
shit
a
like
V
that.
instead of an A. Just to start off, and you gotta watch it because there's an actual K-pop group called Bandit, spelled BVNDIT.
Really?
Yeah,
oh no shit.
Yeah, it's actually spelled.
That's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, but I got gaming on the end, so
yeah, that helped it out. Yeah. I feel you on that. With mine, with Jimmy Dukes, and then I put gaming. There's this guy on YouTube, and he makes beats. And when I started using Jimmy Dukes on YouTube 10 years ago, he messaged me, "Hey man, can you change your name?" And I'm all, no, no. But it's funny. But he still makes beats to this day, and he's doing pretty good. So it's funny when you put Jimmy Dukes on YouTube, it's either Jimmy Dukes Beats or Jimmy Dukes Gaming right under that. So I thought it was funny. I was like, all right, I gotta put the gaming to separate myself. But thanks for coming in through, man. Like we were just saying right now, I met you last year. I knew of you, and we kind of spoke a little bit last year, not too much, but I remember you were like, man, y'all going way too far for the fucking after party. I remember you were saying. And
it was raining too.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. And what's funny is I actually drove out there, and I was just sitting outside, but I was mad because it was raining.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get out the car. So, like an hour and a half.
Yeah, man. I was like, I'm like that's way too far. But yeah, man, I've seen you just in the past year. It was cool because you gradually were just steady as fuck. You're probably one of the most content creators that I've seen that just steadily on multiple platforms. And that's one thing I did notice about you. I didn't know you at the time, and I got to know you just being in your streams, just, chit-chatting you, big bullshitting with you. But, man, you were on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you were everywhere. So, like, dude, that was cool because at that time last year, I was at this point in my life where, all right, what do I got to do to be successful? And hearing you guys talk and you guys doing your thing, I was like, damn, I was just like taking it in, man. I was like, these guys are on a certain level, you know what I mean? So when I saw you on your TikTok, on your Instagram and all that, I was like, damn, it can be done. It can be done. And you were consistent with your content, and I just want to commend you on just the consistency on that, man. That's amazing to see, bro.
That they go, you chase it, no matter what. Chase. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, and that one thing too, when a lot of over the past year, numbers been dwindling and people jumping platforms. You were really just. I remember you were saying, "I am staying on Facebook. This is where I stream. I will."
That blue.
Bro. And even for me with my streaming, I jumped to Twitch, I jumped to Kick, I was on YouTube, and I multi-stream. But for you to openly say I'm not going anywhere and sticking to your guns, I thought that was cool because a lot of people that are bigger or lower with us were all just trying to find their space. But you were just, I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna get my partnership, and you did.
Yeah, so it's like I found the sauce, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've already made my presence on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I've already made my presence on Instagram. So that's my short form.
Uh-huh.
And that's very, very important when it comes to content creation. That's really what the hype now, period. Reels, VODs, videos, is something that's going to really bring the crowd in, and they want to see you and all the extra. The comedy, it could be motivation, it could be fitness, it could be anything. But I really found that what they like to call it niche.
Yeah.
Something like that. I really found my own niche with the comedy reels and stuff like that. So that would really help out. The Candy, which is my baby mama, wife. What I gotta say? I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But that's what really made it click. To where it's like, okay, I got the short form content locked.
Yeah.
So live streaming, I don't have to go over here to Twitch. I don't have to go over here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Let me just stay on Facebook. Facebook lets you upload reels, let you upload videos, let you do everything that social media does,
Hmm.
plus live stream.
Yeah.
Like you can't beat it. So why not? Why
Hmm.
not just stick to it and just stick to that plan?
I know, and I liked it when I started following you. I liked how you'd include your family and include your interests outside of gaming, like
Yeah,
the
right.
talking about music, talking about biking, you working out, family oriented. Me as a creator, I'm a family guy. I'm married. I have kids. I gravitate toward other creators that are doing the same because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I see this
family
guy.
is
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
Family is very important. You got to take care of
yeah.
your family. Of course.
And I like that you would always include them, and I liked that you kept doing other things, other comedy shit with the green screen stuff, and you
Yeah.
just wearing different outfits. Dude, that was so cool. I was like, man, it's cool because it was refreshing to see that you were already doing that. And all of a sudden, everybody starts doing the same. You know what I mean? And me too.
Hey man,
Hey,
I don't want to toot my own horn,
yeah, yeah,
bro.
but I no, but you doing well like that, I was like, man, and with the whole niche thing that you were saying, that was me too, because I play roller hockey. I grew up playing hockey, so I started putting some reels out. And like, oh damn, you do this, and I was like, oh, I do jujitsu. So I started doing that. So it was cool because I felt more confident in myself. Meeting people, talking to people, of like, man, put your stuff out there, let people know who you are, and if they like you, they like you. If you don't, you don't. But you're more than just gaming, and I like that was one thing about you, man. So leading up to like all this stuff we were talking about, like how did you all grow up playing video games? Was that a
Of course, we
thing?
all grew up playing
Yeah. So
video
what was
games.
your
Come on.
console? What was your
I
console?
had a GameCube, a GameCast. I
Yeah,
had a
game
GameCube.
cast.
I had a GameCube, though. I grew up with a GameCube, 007 Nightfire, PlayStation 2, of course. I
Uh-huh.
was a real COD OG. A lot of people like to say they COD OG, but I was playing SOCOM US Navy SEALs.
Hell yeah. So come, hey man,
Yeah.
that was the first online game I played.
Exactly.
Bro,
Yeah.
that was shit. So dude, hell yeah. So you grew up on that, and that was always part of your childhood, is playing
Yeah,
video games on
playing
and
video
off.
games, playing 2K, Madden with my cousins and friends, of course, and just keep playing games whenever I'm bored. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioned earlier the music thing. Was that
Yeah.
another interest of you growing up that you were doing? I know that
Yeah,
you sing
yeah,
on stream a lot.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean? And
All you
you're
gotta do is go look up Bandit Gang. You'll
yeah,
see.
yeah.
I got videos on YouTube right now, well over 1 million views. Stuff like that. I
Hmm.
still get paid from being
That's
I
dope.
actually have a public set up and stuff like that.
That's
We'll get
cool.
into
Yeah, no, but that's dope.
but yeah, yeah. So, but it's kind of better. I ain't gonna lie. Stream is better.
Yeah,
Like I really came over and built a full community
yeah,
and people who truly support and don't never want me to stop. Like I'll take a day off, anything like that, and they be on that bull.
yeah.
Where you at? What are you doing? My mom's be on. Why you not live? What's up? Yeah, I call. I'm tired.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get a little break and something.
Right.
Go.
That's cool. So when you
Yeah.
you were talking about the music thing, so how did you lead to like streaming? Like how long have you been streaming for or creating content for?
Okay, so I've been streaming 3 years strong. Uh, Consistently, like twice a day type. My schedule now, whatever, like 2 years and a half, I want to say. But when I first started, I guess it was just we were just all playing the game together. We were
Yeah.
playing Fortnite, and I don't know who said it, but they were like, we should go live or something.
Uh
I'm
huh.
like, what is that? So I started doing my research, looking on YouTube, all that. Just start watching other streamers, other content creators. Shout out to Diva, shout out to Swish. Yeah. And it just clicked to me like, man, I play the game all the time, so why not? In between jobs, this and that, you know how that go with the household. So it's like, should I really do this? Should I really go for it? Put all my eggs in one basket. I just went for it.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
Ever
when
since.
you started streaming, you went in full time
Yeah,
right
I
away.
just went straight in. It was like I lost my job at DHL. I lost my job at I kept like just jumping job to job, and it just went for me. So it's like, let me just get on my hustle. Get
Yeah.
on my hustle. Like
How about my hustle? I mean,
I always
with
been a
streaming
hustler,
and
just know
content
that.
creation.
Yeah, I always been a hustler,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to go legit, basically.
Yeah.
Just really find something that's for me. And when I really started, it just, you know how Facebook do anyway. You first start, woo, all these people in here, all these, you know how they do.
Yeah.
Especially when we started back in 2020, and then we had features and getting major raids and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, the raids kind of messed up now, but that's
Yeah.
That just really gave me more motivation to keep pushing hard and hard and hard, and I start seeing programs come out such as BPC and stuff like that, and that's when I started meeting Max Ron, Kelly Kell,
Yeah.
all of them. So damn, that's real motivation. They really getting paid just to sit their ass right
Yeah.
and entertain, just play the game.
Yeah.
So that's basically
Yeah. And
that's
when
really got me going.
when you went full time, how was that as far as like, you know, financially, like making moves like that to buy a computer, to buy all this, and
Okay, so
you know, because a lot of people don't realize that there's not money right away, or
Nah, of
you know
course
what I
not, of
mean,
course not.
and a lot of people think that
I got lucky.
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, I got lucky. I hit big off of Dodge.
uh-huh.
Like, I had got lucky, so that's how I bought my laptop and
Nice.
stuff like that. I kept investing back into it.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I just got lucky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not lucky, but that just goes a different part of your aspect of life, things that you are putting in your buckets.
Yeah,
You know, I tell people all the time, I invest on.
Better
I
invest.
invest on a lot of different things. I have little buckets everywhere. You know, crypto, bonds, shit like that. It just buckets everywhere. I'm not saying I'm the richest or million, but in 10 years, you know, I'm a couple G's there, a couple G's there, you know, and things like that. And then it's cool hearing people say that, because you can't assume that you're just gonna make it or doing this, man. You can. I'm not saying that you can't, but a lot of people got to be realistic, and they don't get that satisfaction right away or get the numbers or whatever, and they just quit.
I mean, it happens. Like, it really does happen. I done hit a brick wall plenty of times, especially with 3 years of streaming. I've been numbers low, all that. Like, feeling like I'm not gonna make it, wanting to give up. I done told my mods I wanted to give up. I want to quit. They're like, shut up. That's important too. You gotta have solid people on it.
Right.
That's something very important. People who really want to see you.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that don't want to see you, and they ain't gonna be telling you.
Yeah.
Go do it. Shut up. You're wrong. That's not right. And you really gotta have those type of people in your corner.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's cool that you say that, because that's a lot of people don't realize that having the right type of support around you, and not just the yes people. Because I mean, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people do come and go, and it is what it is. But, you know, just how any aspect in life, you know, you meet people doing certain things, and people are so supportive or not, or people come and go. But having you know, how you're talking about your homies here is just like, it's good to have that.
I call them my kings and queens.
There you go. having that in your corner, and they have the best interests of you, because they know you, and they, you know what I mean? And that's kind of hard to find, because a lot of people think that they know people or they're friends, and then they're not. You know what I mean?
Of course, because I done had plenty of people come into our circle and just try to destroy it.
Yeah.
You know, but the silent wins 60.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that matters.
Right. That's dope, man. So yeah, so you know, congratulations on your partnership, man. Like you said, we were talking about, you said you were gonna stay on Facebook. You're like, y'all just wait, man. It's gonna work out and everything, and you stayed true. And then when it did happen, I was like, not even within the year he said it, and he did it, man. So it was cool to see you doing that, bro.
So, you know, when I was being transparent with the guy. Mm-hmm. So I was showing everybody my numbers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people was commenting on it, like, oh, Facebook's not accepting new partners, this and that, and oh, the platform's dying. Oh, Big Dog left, this and that. I'm just like, whoa. All these naysayers, I'm proving wrong. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't really call nobody a big dog. A lot of people try to say big dog, this and that. But if I can't go out on the street and be like, do you know who this person is? And they be like, yes. You're not a big dog.
Yeah.
there's a difference in
that level. Yeah, for sure.
That people gotta understand, especially when it comes to streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that was when you kept saying that, you were one of the people that I was like, you know what? Like, I listened, because there's a lot of people, and that I know a lot of people, but the people that I genuinely like and follow, I make sure that I'm keeping up with what they're doing. I might not be in all their streams, but I'm keeping up with their content, and
Yeah,
I'll make comments and shit like that, because there's a million people doing the same damn thing.
exactly.
You know
You
what I
have to
mean?
work yourself, so you gotta
Exactly. And I
people
think,
understand that.
yeah, exactly. I've little by little, I'm getting to know you just through streams, and I've never felt that weirdness that other people. Where you been?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? You got shit
No,
going on.
man.
I got shit going on.
I
But
don't never do that. I don't
yeah,
care what you do.
yeah. But it's cool because like it's letting people know it's cool to not be in each other's shit all the time. But hey, I see you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's all it
Like,
is.
you can come by and just hit the like and don't say nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna care.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I appreciate the like, man.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when you were saying, just watch. I remember because there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, they're not signing him, they're really losing people," and it was true. You know what I mean? But a lot of people were just like, "Oh fuck, oh shit, oh shit," and then when they signed you, I was all, "See, they are like." He said they were. He said, "Just wait, just chill, just keep doing your
It's just,
thing."
I just hate the fact there's a lot of stuff that I can't speak on.
No, I yeah.
be wanting to
Your thing.
I just hate the
Whistleblow,
fact
like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I can't
No, yeah, and then
I
I know.
don't know.
I
And
and that,
Facebook, I like Facebook.
yeah, and that's the thing too, because
Yeah.
but a lot of people have these contracts or not have contracts or people. I mean, it's none of our business what's within those lines of what they do, what have to do money wise or whatever. It's none of our business. But when I started seeing a lot of people lose the partnership, but I was but they're still signing people. Maybe they're just like they're just changing. The Facebook is changing. You know what I mean? And
Streaming, period.
yeah.
It's not the same. You can't just sit here and play the game.
Well said.
It's dead. It's over with.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie. Kai, AMP, and all them, they raised the bar for everybody.
Mhm.
Like, you have to be an all-around entertainer.
Yep.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
People want to see this. They want to see that. Play the game, of course. You still play the game.
Yeah.
Still throw it in there. But other than that,
Yeah.
you gotta have fun.
Yeah,
Period.
and one thing I do enjoy about your content is that you're steady as far as like the titles that you play, and you're consistent with those, and you throw in your reels and that, but you throw everything around, and I was like, man, but I felt like within this past year, I started getting in that mindset of feeling confident. I started doing unboxings. I started doing this podcast. I started doing more things than just the gaming, because I felt a lot of people was like, oh, my niche is Warzone. All right, fine. I was like, well, my niche is me.
Exactly.
I mean, whatever I do,
Exactly.
I hope people enjoy what I do or what I got going on. I
That's
might,
how you find your
yeah,
true supporters.
exactly. I
That's
started
how
finding
you find
people that follow me because of the podcast, or not because I'm just a Warzone player, not because they're like, oh, this guy's pretty dope. I'm just gonna follow him and check him out. Oh, he does this. Oh, he does that.
all around entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's what it's about.
And I'm glad you brought that up. The landscape has changed with streaming. You can't just turn that camera on and hope people show up.
Oh yeah. It don't work like that. That's boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
There you go. Well said. Yeah.
Straight
A
up.
lot of people like, and I know a lot of people that are trying it and doing this. And one thing I did learn when it comes to content creation, that everybody's in their different lane. So I can't hate on what they're hating or what they're trying to do. But one thing I have been more animate about being open about, don't bitch if you're not doing everything. If look at somebody who's at the highest level, if they're doing everything and you're not doing everything, then you have no fucking chance.
And you know what's funny? Facebook literally posts and they tell you what type of creator tool they drop or what are they really focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
And they made an announcement that they were focusing on real.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still don't understand that. They still just want to go live.
Yep.
Like, you're not making reels, you're not making any clips, you're not doing nothing. You just, I'll work hard because I go live.
That
Everybody goes live.
yeah. That one thing that I did see a lot within the past year, the entitlement.
Exactly.
The entitlement. Like, hey man, I stream 8 hours a day. I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm not trying to say, but if you keep doing that and it's not working, why the fuck do you keep doing it?
They try to blame the platform. Or they try to blame them.
Yeah.
You doing that?
Yeah.
You need to switch it up.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are, and shout out to my boy, the Unfortunate, aka Tinsu's Temple. Now, he called last year the Reckoning, because you get to see who's a creator and not just a streamer. And I thought that was very important. And I'm not trying to hate on people that are just streamers, but the people that are evolving and changing with the times are the ones that are staying afloat or doing better, because you're right. You can't just stream and just play Fortnite for 10 hours a day anymore.
Of course, it's boring.
Mhm.
It's too many sweats, a lot of saturation of streams, period.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I can go watch him. He's doing the same. I can go watch him.
Exactly.
He's doing the same.
Exactly.
Watch him.
Yeah. So, with the partnership now, you got that going on. And one thing I do like about you as well, man, and I'm just giving your flowers, man. You travel, you go to these different conferences and meetups and things like that.
Step and rep.
Exactly. And that's
Step
something
and
that
rep.
I see people doing, and like I see myself trying to start doing that. And I like the fact that you're willing to get out there and willing to put your name, do little interviews, go to the dream hacks and stuff like that, because there's a million other people that are just busting their ass as much as you are. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of keep up with the game.
But now it's just a little harder.
Mhm.
I just have to. I'm grinding even more. I didn't sign that contract. It's over with.
Mhm.
Now my foot is on everybody's neck. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah. So with that being said, and we don't have to go into the whole contracting now that you have that down, in your near future, like you're just gonna keep the same kind of content. You have more things coming down the pipeline that
I got a lot coming.
Yeah.
I got some stuff set up with some big time people. I ain't gonna say names. Y'all just gonna see.
Yeah.
Put it in motion, but it's a lot behind the scenes that I have not spit out.
Yeah.
I just want to hold in until it's out there.
Yeah. That's cool because a lot of people that sometimes they'll be making something so big and leading up to it, and then it just kind of like, yeah, I've always been the type of creator where I was like, if I'm working on something, I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing it, and then I put it out. And then I'm like, all right, I said I'm gonna do this podcast. Just wait, guys, I'm just working on it, and then just started pumping them out. Like, damn, you got like 30 podcasts up. I was like, I told y'all, I'm not the guy that's gonna sit here and talk about how great I am, what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do it.
Do it.
You know what I mean? If you like it, dope. If not, hey, it's all good. I'm gonna be doing my thing. So in the near future, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years when it comes to content creation? Like an ideal Bandit Gaming scenario, where do you see yourself? You still streaming? You still doing a little bit of everything? You traveling? What's going on?
I promise y'all, I'll be the face of Facebook gaming.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands,
Within
or buts.
5 years? 5 years?
Probably sooner than that. I have no clue, but I just know I will be the face of Facebook gaming.
Yeah.
Period.
And it's cool because you have the consistency, you have the work ethic, because there's a whole other slew of things that a lot of people don't realize. There's a lot of shit that goes on before just pressing live or uploading those TikToks or figuring out what your content, and and you do your YouTube thing too. So it's just like there's a lot of things there in the background that you're doing while you're not live. A lot of people just see you live and that's it.
I just like to try to perfect a lot of stuff first before I really start dishing it out.
Yeah.
Just give it a run first behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be on board. Like, all right.
Yeah. And that's how it should be, because I've always see a lot of creators, and I'm not trying to hate on it. I watch a lot of people because I'm always learning, and I'm not big people, small people, whatever, certain niches or whatever. But I've never been the creator to just throw shit on the wall and to see what sticks. That's just not me, because I've seen a lot of people just throw a bunch of shit. They're doing a bunch of million things and then they just stop. And for me, I'm just like, all right, if I'm gonna move in this lane, let me make sure that, you were saying, let me perfect it, let me get good at it, and then put it out. Okay, it's hitting, boom, all right, I did it right. All right, so that's one thing. So let me do this now. Now we got my reels down. Let me put my hockey reels on. Let me put my GoPro on. Put those things. Okay, that's hitting. All right, dope. Now I'm working out.
Tell you that too. I love them.
Yeah. So I
GoPro view.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. See, and I like that you say that, because a lot of people don't plan their shit out. They just, they're doing that, let me do this. Oh, they're doing that, let me do this. You know what I mean? And those are, and I'm not trying to hate on those creators, but they're trying to find themselves while they're trying to throw shit on the wall, instead of just what you said, or to just, you're the niche, you feel comfortable on what you want to do. Yeah, and
stop worrying about what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be a follower. I don't care if he's the big dog, all that extra. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, how is that going to help you?
Yeah.
How's it going to help you, your content, your page? How?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people go, he's leaving. Oh, I'm going to leave too then. Let's go. Bro, what?
Right.
Is that your day?
Right. I know I saw a lot of people jump ship, and it's it's not talking shit. It's just an observation. A lot of people might take a lot of things. Oh, this fucker's doing this. This guy's doing this. Girl's doing this. Like, it's just an observation that I saw a lot of people doing things, and I would see a lot of people. Oh, Facebook is broken, but we're going to Twitch. Come on, let's go to Twitch. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm back on Blue. You know, you know what I mean?
Now you're back.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I've always, with my streaming, I work full time, so I can't have a regular schedule. But one thing I did notice with my content, my off-stream content was doing way better than my streaming. You know, I
Indeed.
shout out to all my people that come out and say what's up to when I'm streaming, but it's not as consistent as a lot of other people. And I might not hit, but I still do it because I enjoy having conversations with people in real time. But for me, for my content, I knew that wasn't my main focus, that I shouldn't be doing that anymore. I was like, well, let me work on something that works for me, that'll work the way I want to grow, and like doing the podcast, doing the off-stream content, doing unboxings on YouTube. And just, I was like, all right, I could do that because I could record on my own time, edit, and then put it out when it's ready.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Do everything that you love.
Mhm.
I don't understand it. You got to put them blinders on or something. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Do everything that you love. Do everything that you do with your first thought. Like, it's all on you. Don't worry about nobody else. None of that. I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've always been in my zone, just focusing on my stuff, my craft.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, like, they will see other people doing their things, and then they get inspired. You know what I mean? Like, seeing you do well and other people do well, it's like, that's dope. That's dope.
Hopefully I am.
That's dope.
motivated.
You know,
That's my whole
yeah, that's why
purpose.
I honestly, it's not competition, but I just like seeing people do well, because I'm like, hey, I'm pulling for them too. And I'm like, if that guy can do it and I'm on the right path, if I'm doing all the right things for me to work in my lane, it could be done. You know, it can be done. So within the next 5 years, we're gonna see Bandit Gaming, aka the new Stone Mountain and shit.
Yeah,
Man.
exactly.
Hey,
That's what you aim for.
Willies, singing, blood sucking,
All-
building.
All endorsements, sponsors, all of that.
Hey, that's dope,
Stepping
man.
and repping the blue.
Yeah, man. So real quick before I get you out of here, man, I appreciate your time, man. Shout out your people, your times. Where can they find you? What's going on in the near
I hate
future?
doing shout out because some people be feeling left out when they do it. Shout out to my kings and queens.
Hey,
They over there, y'all. Dre and D4 right here, though. Yeah, they on the side, but yeah, shit. Shout out to the community. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Jimmy Dukes, of course.
appreciate you, man.
Shout out to all my fellow creators. Shit,
Yeah, man.
I can't really pinpoint on who, like name for name.
Yeah. Just the people that, yeah, for sure. You know,
You
and
know, if I rock with you, I rock with you.
yeah, man. So you're on Instagram, you're on
Yeah,
TikTok.
I'm on Instagram at Bandit Game Rook, which is BVNDITGDNGROOK. TikTok's Bandit Gaming. Facebook, of course, Bandit Gaming, BVNDIT Gaming. YouTube, Bandit Gaming.
Yeah, and all that will be down here in the description, guys.
Yeah,
if you're watching this on any of the platforms or you're listening to this, it'll be on the description, man. But thanks again for coming in here, man. It's
you.
it's great seeing you do your thing, man.
It's like one of my first little podcasts.
Hey,
man.
that's dope, man.
Rub the little nervousness and all that off.
You did good, man. I appreciate. Like I said, man, thank you so much for coming through. I look forward to seeing what you do with this new partnership and things you got going on, working in the background, man. Hell yeah, man. Thanks again, brother. I appreciate you, man. Until next time, you guys keep a lookout. Audio, video on YouTube, Instagram. We're all over the place for all the podcast stuff. Hope you guys enjoy these series that are coming out for the Meetup 2023. Until next time, peace out, homies.
Let's go.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Jimmy Dukes Gaming Podcast. And I am excited to have a re-guest from last October. We met Miss Spank Queen. We're out here in ATL for the ATL meetup, and I hit her up ahead of time, and I just wanted to sneak her over and have a conversation and catch up since last time. How you been?
Oh man, dude, I've been great. I've
Yeah.
been pretty good. You know, life is life, and all you gotta do is just keep on swimming.
Right? Right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. I wanted to say just some little small kudos. I've had a lot of people hit me up on the side when we did our podcast, because you were talking about a lot of things that we normally don't hear about as far as being a female content creator and stuff like that. So I wanted to let you know that that podcast was one of the highest views for my as far as numbers because of the topics we were talking about. So awesome.
That's pretty dope,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good to hear that.
It's cool because obviously, we talked about it last time, you're in a male dominant space, but the way you were going about content creating and not selling out was cool of you talking about it, because I went back and listened to it the other day and I was like, oh yeah, she was saying, you do you. Like some people were, kind of selling themselves out in different platforms and stuff, and you're like, hey, that's not something I want to do, but if you also want to do, and go for it.
Right, exactly. Respectfully, I respect the grind. I respect everybody's grind. Everybody's got bills to pay for. Everyone's got some sort of a goal they have in mind, and however they reach that goal is, it's not our business.
Yeah, well said. So since we last caught up, how's the content been? I see you doing really well on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
I just saw you just after that conversation, you were talking about doing different things and doing the cooking, and you started doing well on TikTok. I was keeping up with you.
Yeah, I think I started using TikTok more so for editing. This was when Facebook Reels just came out, and I don't know what happened, but TikTok it instantly blew up. I had over 10,000 followers within those 2 months, literally after our podcast.
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is. TikTok is a really, really good base platform to get yourself out there. Just from the use of hashtags. Right.
I like how you said that, because a lot of people don't realize the power of having even just a Twitter or a TikTok. I was always against having a TikTok because my wife would be on it. She watches cooking stuff and little hacks, life hacks.
Yeah.
And I would catch myself watching shit, but I'd never really posted any of my stuff. But last year was kind of like an awakening with everybody just getting out of their comfort zone, playing more than games, doing more things. And I jumped on TikTok, and I enjoy putting that out there because it's just a whole different audience that you can reach, right?
Yes, exactly. TikTok is definitely a different kind of audience. I also think that the algorithm is definitely different over there. Lots and lots of new people. The discoverability on TikTok is just, I don't know. It's very fascinating. Because if you're streaming on Facebook Gaming, you meet mostly gamers. But on TikTok, it's everyone. It could be your grandma, that has no interest in whatever you're posting whatsoever. Everyone can discover your content.
I like that's I like how you said that. Like even your grandma, because you're right. Because some people will scroll, and depending on what they watch, it kind of starts putting things in your feed that you're kind of looking at. So I always mess with my friends. I'm like, let me see your feed. It's a bunch of they're looking at girls, or some of them are just cars. But it works.
Yes.
Like a lot of the stuff that I look for, and then sometimes it'll throw something randomly, and you're like, oh shit, let me look at that.
Yeah, you can come across like a cat meme or something.
Yeah.
You like that one cat meme, you instantly have access to 200 more cat meme videos in your disposal.
Right, just like that. And so, not only do you create content on TikTok, you also stream on there, right?
Yeah, so I actually had the opportunity a few months ago to be a part of the TikTok gaming agency called Carter Plus.
Okay.
And they were actually scouting that day. Came across my live stream, sent me a message over Twitter, I believe. This is why it's so important to have all kinds of platforms as far as availability goes on how to contact. Because if you only have an email or a Discord, it's really hard to kind of reach you that way. And you know how Facebook is too. It's really hard to reach people nowadays on there. So I got contacted on Twitter, and I mean, I got like 100 followers on there. But the agency looked and said, we like your vibes, we like your energy, you're a natural, we want you on our agency. And when I looked, they're actually huge. They have people from NRG and Cloud9 and all kinds of like esports teams on their agency as well, on their roster. And I don't know, I just couldn't believe it. And it was all because of TikTok and cooking, and it was weird. And I don't know, I guess it was just kind of like a blessing in disguise, because like I said, I originally used TikTok just to edit my videos and to pass time, you can easily pass 4
Oh
hours
yeah, for
on
sure.
it. And you think you just blink.
Yeah.
Time just goes.
You're like, fuck, man, I've been scrolling for an hour already.
Yeah, but they gave me the opportunity to be able to go live, and it's been awesome.
That's cool because I know that I'm glad you brought that up because I remember you had posted something about that, and so you're still with them right now currently, and that's working out for you. That's awesome.
Yep.
And that's crazy. And you're like, I didn't really pay attention to TikTok, and now just because of that, and I tell people all the time, like, don't sleep on other platforms. It doesn't hurt to have the name. Like, I don't use Twitter like big, but I have a Twitter.
Yeah.
How you were saying, like, oh, you only have 100 people. I have like less than 100 or whatever. But every once in a while, I just throw my podcast stuff up there, and people randomly will come across my profile, and then it'll just they see everywhere else you're at.
Exactly. And I remember when you were first starting and posting these podcasts and stuff, and I saw you on Spotify, and that's probably something I would have never thought about to post your podcast interviews on Spotify. That was pretty neat seeing that. When
I met some people from where I'm from in El Paso, and they had a local podcast, and they spit me on that game. Like, they just said, hey, have you ever thought of putting it on iTunes or Spotify? I'm like, I mean, I have it on YouTube. He's like, bro, you just get your audio and even the video, and he set me up. How we were just before we were recording right now.
Right.
You're like, hey, you mentioned the mic thing. That's exactly how it was. He just brought it up and say, hey, have you looked into the shout out to Pub Crew from El Paso and shit. But yeah, they put me on Spotify, and then when you make the account, it puts it on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart automatically, on Amazon, everything.
That's
I was
sick.
like, I had no idea until they just spit that game for me. I thought it was cool.
Oh man, that is so cool. And it's important to have connections. It really is. I mean, it's not really sad to say it's about who you know and whatnot.
Sometimes, for sure, I agree.
But it is, connections on all these platforms are very important.
Yeah.
And that's why, I believe that, I try not to have beef with anybody.
Yeah, no,
like,
yeah.
It's like I see some folks that really use that to gain their audience, and I'd rather not have a whole mob on my side to fight other people.
Yeah.
I'd rather have people like, hey, if you like my content, go follow my friend Jimmy Dukes.
Yeah.
Or, he plays the same games as I do. You guys like variety? Little Chaos or Christy.
You shout out the people that you kind of mess with anyways, right? So yeah, like, you kind of let people know, hey, I might not be your cup of tea, or you might also like this too.
Yeah.
And it's cool that you said it, because a lot of people are afraid to lose people or whatever, because I've had people say, hey, I came across you because of so-and-so, and then jokingly the other person's like, hey man, that fucker never shows up to my stream, but I see yours all the time. But just jokingly, right? But
yeah,
that's just how it is. Like, I'm sure there's people that's found me and then found other people.
Exactly.
And it's all good, you know what I mean? I think keeping that neutral with a lot of people with the relationships. I've always been told, oh, you're passive, you're chill. I was like, I just try to do that with everything. So it's easier to deal with people. If I ever do anything else or whatever, it's good to say, hey, Spank, I heard you were talking to the agency. How does this work? And you can just say this or that or whatever, just to spit some game. You know what I mean?
As soon as I got into the agency, I recommended Mr. Carter Pulse with a bunch of people. I said, hey, there's a lot of really good folks out there on Facebook Gaming that probably have over 1,000 followers on TikTok that would be able to, benefit from your agency. And I would like to give a good word out for them if possible. And I gave him a list of names. Hopefully he's contacted somebody, but I'm just all about help me help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not in the sense of owing, but it's just, I feel blessed to have a community like mine, and I want everybody else to kind of feel the same way.
Yeah. That's cool that you're so like that too, because not a lot of people will be so open and want to, give other people shout outs when you're in your bag kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You could easily say, hey, I'm on this agency. Hey, peace out, y'all. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool too. You're in your own lane. But, within the first week, I'm sure you said, hey, by the way, and you gave people if you guys are looking for people, I'd recommend these people to check them out. And you didn't have to do that, and I'm sure you didn't tell all those people, but you did it because you wanted to do it.
Exactly. I'm just all about everybody getting their bag at this point. You
Yeah, it's
know,
cool.
it's been a struggle here on
Yeah.
Facebook Gaming.
Yeah, since we last talked, obviously, a lot of people, have left the platform or jumped around. And, how do you feel about everything that's been going on as far as like some people staying, not jumping around, or just being more open with their content? What do you think about all that, the landscape that's changed since last year?
I would tell you this. I don't know if it's me or if it's just, everyone else's own volition. I've been noticing that a lot of people who just stuck to their guns with one game, like Apex or something. I've seen so many people choose variety over it. Everyone's starting to experience that burnout. You can only play one game for so long and so much. And yeah, even if your community doesn't agree, I would hope that maybe at least more than 50% of your community agrees on, taking care of your mental. And I see people a little bit happier, playing different things and trying new things.
Yeah.
I mean, like I know that Thrive's been doing like reactions to weird food stuff, and I know Trav, Black Line Gamers, he's already been a variety streamer, but I always see like everybody just, playing new games and stuff. And I remember thinking like I was afraid of treading on new waters, but nowadays it's like, whoa, what are you playing, Spank? Like, what is this?
See,
like, you're playing the most random stuff lately.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Because like I said it before with other people, like people get so caught up in being you're tied to that game, which is fine. But having that opportunity to go away from games, and I've been doing that for about 1.5 years now. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just play what I want to play. And it's gotten to the point to where, all right, what is Jimmy playing?
Right.
Because I would come in your streams late or whatever, and you'd be playing. I remember you were stuck on this one game. Was it the Yakuza one?
Oh yeah.
You played all of them, and then there was one time you were sitting there just playing like a mini game within the game, and you're like, this is so addicting. But everybody was having fun, and that was cool because like you got away from your normal games and you started playing Apex, and I've seen you play Warzone here and there, and so it's cool that you're like, it shows that you can be a variety streamer and still be successful.
Exactly. I mean, remember, everything else can change but the streamer, you know what I'm saying? At least for the good. I try to keep the vibes just about the same, chill, positive. And I'm more happy than I would say, like being able to play whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Just as long as, just as long as the community sticks around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not really afraid of losing.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people are, exiting stage left because of some
Certain
issues
things,
with their contracts and stuff. But I have different goals now.
Yeah.
So I remember originally I was like, you know what, I'll try to get back on Facebook Partner and see what happens, on that same track. And things are starting to look up.
Yeah.
So
I know you've been I've seen your numbers up and down. I see you.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I might not be in their streams, but I see, like, I'm a really observant person, so I'm always kind of keeping track of how people are doing.
Yeah.
Especially like the people that I've talked to, because I genuinely, like, people that I ask to be on here or I talk to, I genuinely are pulling for them, and I could see them doing their thing. And I don't ever have to feel like you have to notice me or contact me or react to things. But it's cool that, people see each other from afar and they're like, hey, I see you. Keep doing your thing.
Trust me, I see you all the time, man.
Right? So it's cool. So it's cool. I like seeing that because I was doing the TikTok thing and seeing you do that, and you did the agency. So I was like, man, she's doing well. And one thing I do like about you as well as a creator, you're really transparent with your community as far as letting people know what's going on with games and times and things like that. So you have stayed true since we've last talked, and you have adapted, and you're being successful in it, and it shows.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I swore, with my community that I would be 100%, like transparent, truthful, honest. I feel like there's just no way around not being honest with your community when it comes down to things. Since we've had our podcast, there's a lot that went on, well, whether it was my dog, I'm building a house now.
Yeah, I saw it. Hey, congratulations, y'all.
Thank you. And I've always been transparent where donations go.
Mhm.
Even if they were direct donos or not.
Yeah.
Just, always letting my community know that I'm not, using their donations for ill will things.
Yeah.
And not scamming people.
Yeah.
That's
you don't
important.
have to, you don't have to tell them what you're doing with it, but you being transparent is why people like you and gravitate toward your honesty and your personality and your content. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever they donate and whatever you use, you don't have to tell people. But I've noticed that people that are a little bit more open as far as what's going on in their lives and everything, you don't have to tell them everything personally. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? A lot of people, like I always say, hey, I have my kids, I'm married, I have a full-time job. I might not be streaming as much, but I got this, I got that. And with my community, it's cool because I might not stream as much, but when people come by, I appreciate it. But I've just been doing more reels, more YouTube stuff, more podcast stuff. And I'm starting to get people to cross platforms and kind of follow me. Cause I say, whatever platform you want to follow me on or watch me on, I appreciate it.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be all of them. It's just one. I'll take it.
Right. And I'm still working on that myself though. Like I am still stuck between like Facebook gaming and TikTok because I'm more known to be streaming for like 8 hours at a time. It's hard to kind of split that between Twitch, Kick, Facebook,
that
TikTok.
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So I'm also trying to do the same, like I just made my Kick account not too long ago, but I only streamed maybe like twice on Kick so far. I'm hoping
aware. But you're aware.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
That's just, that's the adaptation that I'm taking, you know what I mean? And I think like it is very important to spread your wings somewhere, just in case, shit goes down basically.
Yeah. I like how you said that because a lot of people might not realize that you don't have to be everywhere. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I personally say, but for me and the way I'm doing my stuff, I'm going everywhere. And one thing I've always said, and I tell full-time streamers all the time, I respect that because that's your job.
Yeah.
For me, it's easy to say, well, I'm not streaming or I can do this, I can do that. But the consistency on your platform and your community is what you're doing it for. Exactly. You could easily jump around and doing Twitch like that. But are you really, hey guys, I'm over here. Okay, I'm going to be over here. Your community is like, all right, they're already supporting you. But if you're jumping around like that all the time, it's kind of hard to have that consistency and that the community always look forward to your streams if you're always jumping around.
Exactly. It's I would say, it's easy to create an account, but it's really hard to maintain the consistency. I mean, I see like bigger streamers, I say, stream for a maximum of 4 hours and then they're done for like the rest of the day. And knowing how I came up, I cater mostly to people on their night shifts. So people on their night shifts are on for 10 hours or on for 8, on those opposite schedules. And I always believe that if I were to switch platforms, I don't know how many people I would lose. Yeah. Right. I always account for, I actually only account for everybody else's schedules. Yeah. Being a full-time creator, you have to know your community schedules as well. So for things like community games and stuff. So that way they're not really missing out on, their benefits if they subscribe or not. Exactly. Which is why you only see me on after 9 o'clock. Yeah. If you see me on at 6, that means I'm probably sick, but I'm still streaming. Yeah. Other than that, like I remember thinking if I first started full time, I was going to think of just my time. Yeah. Right. But I'm going to make everybody watch me when I go on. Exactly. And I guess I just really didn't feel good about that because it's like, I want to cater to those who even just, slip by and donate, you know what I'm saying? And, the people that say things like, I know, shout outs to Cesar, right? He said I saved his life. And that's what I live for. I live for everybody's mental health. And, I'm always spreading the awareness. Those messages are what keeps me on, Facebook gaming at the times that I am. Yeah. A lot of people get down in their feelings and stuff like that, around those times, around like 2 o'clock, sad boy hours, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. It's true though, right? Somebody just to tell me that if I'm watching somebody, I think I've done that a couple times on a late stream. Just came across your stream. I'm drunk as fuck. They're just saying what's up. And I'm like, hey, what's up? What do you play? And like just a random person like just giving me a hard time. And then I just start talking to them. Thanks, man. I needed that. I'm just
I have nobody to talk to, and I just came across the stream. I just wanted to talk shit.
Exactly.
And it's funny because it's cool that you say that. Hey, the positive impact that we have as content creators, you know, it's crazy because you don't realize it. And, you know, shout out to my boy Miko, aka Tinsu's Temple. He would always say, we're little celebrities without it doesn't matter. You're a public figure and somehow. So if you say something and somebody just sees you as a like, oh, you're a streamer or whatever, and to us we're not that big of a deal, but if we say something positive and it resonates to them, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. You said you saved somebody's life, and you just being yourself and being positive and just chilling, right?
Yeah, and you know, I've always been about just giving back. I'm always about sharing blessings. And I would say just one of those few things is being able to be that role model, I guess, for even those who streamed longer than me, or for those who are just now coming up, just to know that we, even if we are a small streamer, we impact people's lives in some way.
Yep.
Which is why I always try to maintain, you know, my positive image and stuff. So I don't really, if I ever have beef, I don't really, you know, post the beef.
Yes.
Or I don't really show the beef.
Yeah. It's funny because I've seen people go back and forth and take jabs at each other. And I'm just looking at it like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
If you don't like somebody, don't watch them. Don't waste your time. I don't have time. And this is just in general in life. I don't have time to put up with stupid shit. I just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Let alone content creation, small little
Not
beefs.
our grown ass. No.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I turn 30 next year. You know, I'm trying to start a family. I'm about to pay a mortgage.
Yeah.
I don't really have time to post my screenshots and be like, look what this bitch said.
Yes.
You know,
I've seen people like, oh, hey, look up this guy. This fool's talking shit, and like screenshots. Like,
right.
I'm like, I mean,
as entertaining as it is to see the beef, it just makes me a little bit sad.
Yeah.
You know, that was the one thing about neutrality for me is like, oh man, but they're the homies though.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, but I know that one day, you know, like things will work out. Things will work out. Everybody's just gonna again chase their own bag and mind their business.
Yep. I think if one thing I've been more about is just staying in my lane. Like I'm in my lane and I'm not worried about how good I'm doing compared to somebody else.
Right.
And I just kind of keep up with how everybody's doing, but I'm on my grind. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. And I think since last year, you see a lot of either people, they have totally changed and kept evolving, or you just see people say, hey, this is not for me anymore. Unfortunately, this is not worth my time. The turnaround of not getting that feeling of reactions and streaming and the numbers really pushed a lot of people away.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, it sucks. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't do something, but this is, and I say at the time, it's a marathon.
Right.
It is a marathon. A lot of people just want to stream and think they're going to get successful without really trying or building their core community and going from there. And I don't want to talk shit, but at the same time, I'm just being honest. Fuck them. I mean, if you don't want to do it no more, fuck it. You know, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No ill will toward you. This is not for you. And it just starts showing people who's really built for this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
It's not for everybody.
Exactly. I like to think, as far as in the course of a year, I like to think Facebook gaming like the stock market. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. Because when I first started on Facebook gaming, the first 2 years were immaculate. Like, you know, numbers were up all the time. Lots and lots of more, like, you know, newer faces. For the past year, it's gone down. And, you know, from when I used to get over 100 likes in every stream, I would get like 30. Even when I was doing, you know, sticking with my guns with just one game. After I decided I'm not going to worry about the numbers anymore. I'm just going to try and have a good time. I'm going to cater to my community. I'm going to be consistent and stream every night and do whatever. You know, and as you can see, the past like couple weeks now, the numbers have gone up.
Yep. It paid off. You stayed true.
I stayed true.
You stayed true. And I like, because I mean, I'll say it. I you know, not that I'm talking shit to anybody else, but I was jumping around platforms to try to see to figure out for my streaming career, like, what can I do? But when I realized that toward the end of last year, I came to the realization, I was like, hey, I might not be a good streamer because I can't dedicate the time to be a good streamer.
Exactly.
You know, I have too much stuff going on. What I can do and I want to look forward to was doing this.
Exactly.
because I can schedule conversations and start putting out reels and things like that. So I felt like, all right, when everything started changing, I was like, okay, I'm still gonna stream.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be as much, but I'm gonna start venturing over here.
Yeah.
And I might not get the numbers like I would on streams before, but I'm still stuck to my guns as far as streaming. I still stream like at least 10-12 hours a week.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, you know what I mean? But I'm always putting out content.
Exactly.
I'm always like, every day is a reel. I got shorts, I got this, I got podcasts.
I see you on that YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
I subscribe to your YouTube
Yeah.
and I see your shorts all the time.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, and that's how I'm going about my business, and how you were saying earlier, just like, hey, this is how I want to do it. I'm doing TikTok and I'm doing Facebook because that's what's working for me.
Yeah.
And that's cool and that's great.
Yeah, like I like creating, as in like I do love like video editing and things like that. And majority of the time I'd like to do like more comedy.
Mhm.
But lately, from what I've seen and what I'm working with, I do better with live content.
Yep.
So I've just been really, really focused on my live content, and every now and then I'll post
Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
Offline content.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I just love seeing and capturing it live and seeing everybody's reactions live. It makes me feel better more about that. And I see, like, you're all constantly editing videos and things. You know how long it takes.
Yeah, sure.
Like a 5-minute video could take you 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be a 30-second video when you
Yeah.
post it. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to mind my mental, maybe not put too much on my plate, and just focus on my live content. Which is, I mean, a lot of people have been talking about that. They're like, hey, Spank, we made like a bajillion clips off of your video. When are you going to post that?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll get that reminder. I'm like, oh, I already stream 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So maybe at some point I'll manage. And,
Yeah.
Facebook keeps your videos, I think, for like 2 or 3 more years. So I'd like to, kind of space out my time. But consistency is definitely the key to everything.
Yeah.
Because if you just switch up and change all of a sudden, that's a whole new community you might have to cater to.
Exactly.
So it's...
I like
Yeah.
no, I like how you said that though, and you're honest. I like that. And I tell people, you can be a successful streamer. You really can. You could be a streamer / content creator, or vice versa, content creator streamer. You know what I mean? I always say I'm a content creator first.
Right.
But I do say I stream, but then I also say I'm a podcast host. So it's like, for you, for how you're going down your lane, I like it because it shows that you can be a gaming streamer consistently and be successful. Because a lot of people feel like, well, I'm doing this and I'm streaming all the time and nothing else is happening. But
Right.
a lot of the time, guys, people might not like you, and it is what it is. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's entertaining. Not everybody's welcoming. Not everybody has a face that they want to see every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's cool to see you saying that, hey, I could be doing all this, but my bag is the streaming.
Exactly.
And, you know what I mean? And I'm glad you said that's cool, because I've seen a lot of bigger streamers. Like, there's one guy that, I don't know if you ever come across him on Facebook. His name is Primetime.
Yeah.
And Prime, he do long hours. That was just his. And he would say, guys, I'm not a Reels guys. I'm not short content. I'm a streamer. I'm doing this. I'm playing this. And hearing him say it, and he's like, yeah, I could do all this, but I don't. This is what I do, and this is what I like, and this is where my lane is, my bag. So hearing somebody that's been doing it for 6-7 years saying that, hey, this is what I do, and he's successful, it works.
Yeah, I think Primetime definitely motivated me to do longer streams.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing how successful that went. I may not necessarily be partner and we'll be able to have things like subathons and whatnot, but he did inspire me to just keep doing what you like.
Yep.
Because like I said, I really did think that my content was going to go down to the ground because I don't post a lot of reels or a lot of, TikTok videos or things like that, and, offline content. Everybody knows me. As soon as they click on my name, I'm live.
Yeah.
And that's just what they're there for. They know that I'm there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody needs to talk to somebody and whatnot, like, I always would like to be available to them.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to Prime, though. He called my dog ugly. I remember showing a picture of my dog.
Like in the Discord or something?
No, this was live. He was thinking about buying a puppy or something. And he was like asking people for suggestions on breeds. And I was like, well, why don't you get a pit bull chihuahua mix? And he goes, a pit bull chihuahua? Are you kidding me? And
I can hear him saying it too.
I sent him a picture, and I kid you not, he dogged on my dog for 3 minutes.
Nice.
It was hilarious. It was like, no, Prime is a really cool dude.
Yeah. I've learned a lot from him. Like he probably doesn't even know who I am, but I've jumped in there and I've lurked. I don't make myself like known that I'm in there. I just kind of say shit here and there. But one thing I always say when he does say stuff and he starts talking, I'm all, bro, that was awesome. That was a good point. Or things like that. Because he always says certain things.
I feel like he keeps it real.
Yes. And he's like, I know a lot of people don't like me. I know less, and I know this, and I say this, and then he'll just say his point or whatever. And I'm like, I respect his grind and how he carries himself. Yeah. And it's cool because he's honest too. And I think that the more you're honest, going back to the honesty with your community, if you let people know what's going on and you're honest about how you carry yourselves with your content, you'd be amazed how much more people can relate to you by just being honest.
Right, exactly. And, you know, you can't change the truth. You know, you can't switch that up. As soon as you, like I said right before, you know, as soon as you switch up, you're catering to a whole nother community.
If you change too much.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you change too much, you're right.
And that's the thing, you know, like, everybody has to love their community. You know what I mean? Obviously, there could be some bad apples here and there and whatnot, but all in all, I feel like if you're more into the live content, you gotta stay true. Otherwise, I mean, the person that you thought you would see every day is gonna be gone, and you're gonna wonder where they went. And you know, gotta do some self-reflection. A lot of it, a lot of streaming has to do with self-reflection, and balance. Because I've experienced being burnt out a lot. I've experienced having too much on my plate. Even, you know, even disregarding my own health at some point. But my community allowed me to self-reflect and to rest and to mind my mental. And they were the ones that reminded me to do it. Even my husband couldn't move me. You know?
Because you're like, go, 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 go.
All the time.
And even your husband's like, because my wife does the same thing. Like, I'll be staying up late editing or doing shit. And she's like, hey, you need to sleep. Right. I got to get this done. I was like, yeah, but that's 3 nights in a row. You're doing the same thing. I was like, okay, you're right. But and even with my wife telling me, but then hearing it from somebody outside, it's kind of like it resonates a little bit more because, you know, obviously your partner's there to help you out, whatever. But like, yeah, I'm fine. Right. You're thinking that I can't handle this, but you don't realize it yourself. They're like, I'm burning myself out without even realizing it until you start burning out.
Right. Like, I tell you, like, I went to the ER last week for my back. And I was literally in the bed, in the room in the ER, telling everybody in the Spankdom, hey, I still want to stream tonight, even if I have to stand up and do it on, like, whatever medicine they're going to give me. If I have to stand, I'm going to stream tonight. And everyone was like, no. Everyone was like, no, Spank. Yeah. You rest, Spank.
Yeah, relax.
Relax.
Take it easy now. No, but that's cool that you know, that goes back to your honesty, your community, having that core people that genuinely care about you. Yeah. I've met some of the coolest people through this that I'm getting to know. Like, obviously we all know a lot of people. Yeah. And I'm casual with everybody. Not everybody's my friend, but I could, you know, we are good acquaintances on a positive note. Right. You know, but when you genuinely start getting to know people in your chat that, you know, who always come in and I get to know them and what they do and their family and just little chit chats, you're genuinely building relationships while you're streaming. Exactly. And I'm actually very, very thankful for the relationships that I built and all the connections that I have because of streaming in general. Even like, we had this person, you know, he passed away in February. I was able to run like a mini charity for him and his family, and we made it such a huge impact to them. They planted trees under our name. That's so cool. And I mean, I think like those kind of things, that kind of impact is extremely important. Yeah, it goes back to what we were saying. We're. I always say, like, with me having conversations with people and, like, you know, letting people know how things are, I feel like I'm a beacon of information. I might not know everything, but sometimes me just putting myself out there and the way I carry myself, people want to talk to me, and then I can talk to them and we could share our interests and journey and let people know, and, you know, hopefully pass on some positive vibes to people to be like, oh, I remember going through that. I remember doing this, or
Yeah.
I remember when Spank was talking to Jimmy, and she was talking about still streaming, and her community said no. Maybe I need to chill. You know what I mean? Like that self-reflect kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I also would like to show, like, to people, like, I'm not just a pretty face. I know I'm intelligent. I'm decent at what I do. I can't really say like I'm the best. That's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I know like it's important to have confidence.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah, but
I'm still working
you're
on
being
that.
honest. Like,
I feel like I'm being more
I'm pretty
humble.
good. Yeah. But that's cool. Like you're like, I know I'm good, but I don't have to toot my own horn at the same time.
Right. And that's just what I want to show to people, like sometimes like I'll scroll and I'll see like these gorgeous ladies, like, oh my gosh, sparkling Sprite, Lady Geek, I mean, Swish is Sweet, like they're just, and Chrissy and all them, they're just so pretty and so photogenic. And I don't even remember like the last time I've dressed up like that just to post content, right? Like even today, like I feel like I have some like eyeliner smears on. I can't even tell, maybe half an eyebrow, who knows? But like just seeing like all of that, I used to feel envious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I used to look at the numbers and stuff,
Yeah.
and I used to be like, whoa, like why do I have 100 likes on a picture of me, but I have like 30 people liking my live stream and I've been on for 8 hours?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, maybe I have to post content like that, like being a female streamer. But I realized like that's not me.
Good. Yeah.
That's not me. If I don't even post my own selfies on my personal Facebook,
Yeah.
why do I have to do it as a content creator? If I'm already live, you see my face for 8 hours. Do I have to post the picture?
Yeah.
But every now and then I do.
Yeah.
Every now and then I do. But sometimes when I see that, like I know, for example, right? I followed Sparkling Sprite for a really long time, and she used to stream every day. She would be on Warzone every single day. Nowadays, all I see is a picture. All I see is maybe a reel. But now she does videos with her husband, and I think that was like, maybe she had that same realization, like, hey, this is what I'm happier doing. This is what I do better at. I'd rather do vlogs, more slice of life type stuff. I think the gaming's, too much for me, even though she's amazing at what she does. And I've seen that. So it's like, and I've seen Queen Eliminator. She used to do the opposite. She used to post more pictures and everything like that. I've seen her do more lives. She's done tournaments now. She's like really, really good. She's super skilled. So she's picked up I'm more of a skilled gamer and a live streamer than I am a content poster.
Oh, well,
So,
okay, well said. Yeah. So you see other people doing the same thing, like,
Right.
hey, it can be done.
It can be done, yeah. And still on that goal to, I guess, to show other upcoming female streamers, or even ones that have already been there in the game, to know that just stay true to yourself, and you don't have to sell yourself out. Just be you. I think that like everybody likes genuine people.
Yeah. I like how you say that, because a lot of people feel like they have to do different things to keep up. But I think it's more genuine when you just stick to what you want to do, and people will respect you and follow you because what you do.
Right.
Like I might not, like you said, I might not be the prettiest face. I might not be the best at games, but what I do well is what I do. And,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people just feel like they have to do this, they have to do that to keep up.
Right.
And I said it a while back too. I was like, man, once I stopped like worrying about the numbers and just realizing what I wanted to do, my creativity just got so much better, because I felt more confident in myself.
Exactly.
Instead of like, well, this person's doing this, well, maybe I should do that. Well, this person's doing this, maybe I should do that. I should start doing reaction videos. Oh, everybody's doing reaction. And I was like, what am I doing?
Right. Exactly.
That's not me. What am I doing? I'm doing it because everybody else is doing it. I need to stop. That's not me. You know what I mean? That's not me. And you're going back to the self-reflect. It's having that sit back moment and be like, all right, that's not me. And I'm okay with it.
And it's like, do you really want to? Like, if it makes you feel like you're forcing yourself out of your comfort zone, does it really mean that you have to do it?
Right. Yeah, there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
You're willing to try something compared to like, I need to do this.
Yeah, like I remember that's like with TikTok, right? Yeah, I have like a video that has almost 1 million likes on it. But it was just me lip syncing to songs. Do I want to keep lip syncing to songs? There's only so many songs that I know in my head. So I'm like, I'm not a lip syncer.
Yeah.
I did it for fun.
Yeah.
Even though I had all the numbers and everything like that, I can't find myself just having a TikTok page full of me just lip syncing videos and
there's
dancing.
people like that, and hey, that's right. But it's cool. But you did that because you wanted to do it. But it also shows your personality. Like, hey, I can do this.
Right.
I like
it's
doing
like,
this,
oh,
but
well,
I don't need a bank on this to keep going.
right. And I knew that like that's the direction that I wanted for my TikTok, was just to be like, I'm not just like a Facebook streamer that plays games. I have opinions on things that I would share and whatnot. Just like the new AI trend, I posted a thing about how it only takes a paycheck, for things to change. There was a trend that was going on a couple of years ago with Japanese TikTok, where they would act like robots or AI on live stream, and they were like bullied for it. A lot of people were like, "Oh my god, that's so creepy! Stop doing that." They would make fun of them because they'll do like the ooh woo, whatever it was. It was like the e-girl stuff.
Okay.
They were making fun of them. This year, I think this one girl, we call her Popcorn Girl on TikTok, and she uses like a hair straightener and pops popcorn. She goes, "Thank you for the roses. Ice cream, yum. Ice cream, yum." And like she'll act like a robot. She posted how she makes $7,000 every live stream because of just acting like an AI, and everyone starts doing it.
Right.
So all of a sudden,
even though the people were talking shit,
people were talking so much mad shit about the other like the Japanese TikTokers.
Yeah, and they're all fucking doing it now.
And yeah, it only took a paycheck for it not to be creepy.
Right.
And now it's cute. Now it's funny. Now it's entertaining. And it's like, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
If I was like, I think like everybody was messaging me about it after I posted my video because it was a little bit controversial. They were like, "Oh, but it is still creepy or whatever." And I was like, I literally saw you live that night, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Right?
That's your thing. That's your thing. So
I just I like to use TikTok to spread awareness to things that I feel like, or like speaking my mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes Facebook may not like the political stuff.
Yeah.
But TikTok is a whole nother realm.
It's cool because you could expand yourself in different platforms depending what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like obviously with the discoverability on TikTok is amazing. So you can throw little things that you like and do. Like even though you might not sing, sometimes like I put up my hockey videos and they're like, "Oh, you play hockey?" Yeah. I was like,
right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's just another part of me that I started feeling more confident sharing.
Exactly.
Because I was like, you know what? I don't know any other streamers or content creators right now that do, GoPro stuff with their hockey. I'm like, oh shit. And then I know I just started jujitsu again. I'm going to start putting some jujitsu content.
I did notice that your TikTok page was like hockey stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like one little aspect of just who I am. And it's cool because people gravitate like, oh, you're a hockey player? Oh, you play games? Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For example, we had a community game night. And we were playing Jackbox, and it was like you had to put yourself, you had to type in a truth and you type in a lie, and to see if anybody could figure out which one's the truth and lie, right? I actually used to swim. I used to swim every day. I used to swim laps. I can swim a mile under 10 minutes.
Damn.
So, but people didn't know that about me, right? And the lie that I put was saying that I liked tequila.
Nice.
And it was hilarious because everybody knows I drink.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Nah, it's definitely got to be tequila."
Right? Like,
and then they're like, "No way, Spank, you can swim." And I was like, yeah. Like, when I was 8 years old, my dad just pushed me into a pool, and I remember waking up because I drowned, and he goes, "Now you're gonna know how to swim because you're not gonna want to drown no more."
There's sink or swim, girl. Sink
exactly.
or swim.
And ever since then, since I was 8 years old, we had a neighborhood pool, and I swam there every day.
That's so cool. And like, and just because of a video game, and you guys were just hanging out, and they got to know you just a little bit more because of that.
Exactly.
Right.
And like I said, it's just really fun to learn more about people like that you want to surround yourself with. Especially you. Like I feel like we know each other.
Yeah. We're building our friendship, and it's cool because I feel like if I were reached out to you, you would respond.
Of course.
And I think that a lot of people like expect that from everybody.
Exactly. And I
like,
wouldn't.
sometimes you have to build that relationship with people, and some people don't understand that. You can't just I have a lot of people like, hey, you should interview him, you should interview her. I'm like, I don't know them, they don't know me. What am I just gonna shoot my shot? I'm like, I'm realistic. Like I'm letting my work do let my work and my craft show that what I can do, and maybe I get on people's radar and they do want to talk to me.
Right.
I just don't want to just be like the mixtape guy, just handing out my mixtape everywhere.
Right.
Check my podcast.
Right.
Just
Yeah, and then I want to give shout outs to the God Squad and to Black Phoenix and their communities, because they brought us all here together.
Well said. Yeah, shout out to them.
Because I have to say this, I am pretty sure nobody would have never known who I was with the name Spank Queen, especially if it's like in the Apex community. No way, unless I played 24/7.
Yeah.
Saw my name somewhere in a lobby.
Yeah.
But I have to thank them for that. I have to thank for all these connections that I've been making and everything. And I was just talking to my husband last night before. Okay, realistically, it was this morning. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. But I was talking to him about it. That I was like, I'm really thankful for everybody here. And he asked me why. When we went to VBS, like all the streamers that knew about my back issues, because they knew I went to the ER last week, they were all giving up their VIP seats for me. Even though I didn't really expect that. I was like, I know I said that, I might need a seat for my bag, but I didn't expect it because I came late. Kelly Kell was like, hey, you got to come early. But as soon as I got there, it was probably maybe midnight. Everybody was like, hey, Spank, you have a seat, right? You have a seat, right? And I just thought that was just...
Yeah.
Like,
everybody's
without the
genuinely like, hey, are you okay?
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like we all know of each other and making sure everybody's all right. That's cool.
and it makes me feel a little better that like everyone's like looking out for each other. That was like the main thing. Everybody was looking out for each other.
People care in different ways, and that's cool to see, because we are building bonds through meeting up on these weekends. last year I was kind of like, oh shit, let me just see what goes on.
Right.
This year I'm like, I know more people. I'm more confident in what I do and stuff. I feel like I can, hold more conversation and get to meet more people because coming last year.
Yes.
And seeing how genuinely everybody like it sees each other and says what's up. I mean, we don't have to be in each other's stuff all the time, but hey, I know so and so. I met them. They were pretty cool. We had a conversation and things like that. We met last year gradually and talking, and we had our podcast, and we've kept each other in touch just here and there.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see that you could do that with multiple people that genuinely want to just see how you're doing and just keep up.
Yeah. And considering just compared to the meetup from last year and the meetup now, instead of, hi, I'm Jimmy Dukes, it's, hey, what's up, Jimmy Dukes?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It definitely feels a lot better, you know? And for me, it's like, nowadays, it's like, I mean, given I'm like maybe the only other Asian, I know there's others now, but I don't really feel like I'm the only Asian anymore, because now we got Tetsu and whoever.
Yeah. It's cool because this year, I think from just the numbers, from what I saw for tickets, it tripled.
It literally tripled.
That's cool. I could only imagine, God forbid that everything's all right. This is only going to get better, and we're like the core people. Imagine when it gets to 1,000 people, 2,000 people.
Facebook will finally be like, this is a thing.
Spank has been here for the last 4 years. You know what I mean? She's been here from the very beginning. Oh, Jimmy's been here for 3 years. It's like, that's cool, because like we're helping this meetup be a thing to look forward to every year.
Right. And, people were coming from all over the place, like, the Caribbean, Canada, the UK. It's becoming worldwide.
Yeah.
And eventually, I feel like I'm not personally a part of their coordination.
Yeah.
But personally, like, if Facebook sponsors these events, how sick would that be?
Yeah.
To have the cameras and everything like that. I know we kind of turn like, the ballroom into a trap house every now and then, but it would be really cool.
Everybody hanging out. Yeah, but that's the thing, is that's how you build it.
Right.
You build it. You keep making it better. Last year was good. This year's better. You know what I mean?
And
imagine next year.
Exactly. And given their circumstances, I feel like there'll be like a different vibe this year. But all in all, it's going to be very positive.
It's going to be a win.
It's going to be a win for sure.
Yeah. What's it called? So going back with with the agency and streaming, like what do you got coming up in the near future that you can kind of talk about, or what do you got coming on for the rest of this year now that 2023 is like halfway done? Like, what do you got coming up? Then you can share.
Okay. Well, my house closes in October.
Nice.
So my plan is to do a different layout of the stream room and have a different vibe going on with that. My plans is, if I do have any extra money, I would do some little upgrades here and there. As far as my content goes, I personally want to like live stream anime on Kick and create content and do anime reviews. Because I have this huge list. If you look up my name, Spank Queen, and animelist.net or whatever, I have a huge how do I say it, like library
Okay.
of anime and manga that I have read, and I kind of want to like do like reviews or talk about it, do summaries about it and stuff, and try to recommend people watching these niche animes that no one's ever heard of
Yeah.
before. And I want to do that
That's
because
cool.
I spend a lot of nights not sleeping and watching just random stuff on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, you know, it's cool because that's just gonna be another aspect that you can genuinely do it because you like it.
Yeah, I
You know,
love
just
it.
like, hey, by the way, guys, does anyone like anime? Because I'm gonna start doing this. Imagine people are like, wow, that's cool, and then you're gonna get a whole other audience
Exactly.
of people that are just anime people, and you're gonna sit there and say names, plots, and things like that. You know, there was one homie out there. I don't know if you're watching, but CVG, this guy I found through Tinsu, he does reviews for characters on YouTube, Marvel characters. He'd say the name, their powers, and things like that. And I was all, that's dope because I'm a comic book nerd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it was cool that his content was like reels of just random characters that nobody knew about. Oh, by the way, did you know this character, this, and this
Right.
came out in comic book number this, said all his abilities. I thought it was cool.
Right.
It was just like a whole other different type of content that he was doing that I liked because I like Marvel stuff. And I'm
Right.
just a nerd like that. I was like, that's dope.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I wanted to do. And I love comic books as well, but I'm a DC fan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all
But
good. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about doing as far as like, expanding myself a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because not only am I playing like niche games
Yeah.
that people have never heard of before,
Mhm.
I'm like, well, what about anime? I like anime. I want people to watch this because I know this anime isn't popular, but maybe people will like it if they liked
Yep.
things like this or like that.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much what I want to start for like
That's dope.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna just ever evolving, right? Always
Right.
evolving, changing, tweaking. I think
Because I
that's
don't want
how
to
it is.
do the same thing
Yes,
on a
I
different
feel you.
platform.
Yeah.
If I'm already playing live video games on Facebook Gaming,
Let me do something else.
I'm gonna do something else on Kick.
Mhm.
Whether it's like a personal vlog or doing anime nights.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are doing anime
Yeah.
nights, but I want to do something different with those anime nights. I want to first post my like reaction to the first episode live. Then later on, I'll finish the season and then talk
Recap.
about
Yeah.
and recap it
Yeah.
and rate it and things like
Yeah.
that. That's what
Hey,
I want
by
to
the
do.
way, this one is a 1. Don't waste your time.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Whether I hate it or not.
Yeah, I would just give you my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. That's dope. So, one of the last things I wanted to talk to you about is where do you see yourself in the next? I know I asked you last year where do you see yourself in a year. Now, where do you see yourself in this next year? How everything's going? Ideally, just what else do you see yourself doing?
Well, me and my husband, we talked about it. I think we're gonna try for a kid in February.
Hey,
Yeah, you know that Valentine's Day stuff.
Mother Spank.
Yes,
That's
yes.
so cool. Hey, you know what? I God bless you guys, and hopefully everything's good. And you guys are having kids by next year. You said you were turning 30. That's when my wife and I decided to have kids.
Yeah.
I felt like our 20s, because we've been together 17 years, going on 18 years.
Oh my goodness,
Right?
congratulations.
Yeah. So shout out to my wifey. And but we traveled, had a good time in our 20s, and then
Yeah.
at 30, we're like, all right, let's hammer out the kids, the house,
Yep.
and the wedding, and we did all that within like 3 years. We did it all backwards, but it worked for us, and so
Whatever works for
yeah.
y'all.
So I'm happy for you that you guys are gonna go down that road, and I look forward to seeing a little spank.
Oh,
King or
little
queen.
spank in the oven, right?
A little spank in the oven. I like that shit. But thank you so much for your time and catching up with you. It's cool seeing that we talked last year and we kept in touch, and you're doing well as far as your content and your health and keeping up with what's going on. And it's cool because I don't wish it on anybody. I want everybody to do well when it comes to being a full-time creator, and you're showing that it can be done. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It can be done.
Yeah, and I want to keep doing that for
Hell
people.
yeah, that's what's up. So thank you so much for coming by. Let everybody know where they can find you. TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. Plug yourself.
All right. Well, on Facebook, I'm still fighting for the URL, but it's fb.gg/spankqueenplays. On TikTok, though, I secured it. So it's just tiktok.com/@SpankQueen. You can find me also on Threads, the brand new Meta Twitter-like platform, @SpankQueen. Twitter's SpankQueenFB, and I'm pretty sure I have more. Instagram is also just SpankQueen. Other than that, that's where you guys can
and I'll
find
have
me.
all the descriptions down there low. If you guys are watching this on YouTube or listening on Spotify and all that, it's gonna be all down low. But thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to hanging out with everybody tonight and meeting some more new people and catching up with other people. But thank you so much for your time.
Of course, it's always a pleasure. Anytime, man.
For sure. Until next time, guys, y'all make sure to go check out Miss Spank Queen and all that good stuff that she's got going on. Until next time, peace out, homies. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
What up, y'all?
What's goody? What's goody?
Not just gamer dads up in this bitch in Atlanta.
Oh, we back. Oh shit.
Hell yeah, man.
We said we'd be gone for 2 weeks. It's been 7 months.
I think that's the honesty of why the friendships we built. They're just like, oh yeah, man, we're gonna do all this shit and just life happens, right?
Yeah, but that's how you know, because like some people come and go, but like you know who your friends are when you, not when they are constantly in your life, but when you have to take that break. How do you guys how do you guys bounce back? You continue like nothing ever happened? Is it awkward? You know what I'm saying? Like it, not like some people it's awkward and you're like, oh okay, but like when the ones that you really rock with,
Yeah.
you kick off like nothing ever stopped.
Yeah.
Like it was only a day away.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about, man. Since last year, you know, we've kept like we were already talking and you know building our friendship. We started creating content together.
Yeah.
And we're still talking and hanging out outside of just the streaming and content. And we were talking about, you know, I stayed with you guys. You know, you picked me up when we stayed at your beautiful house with your family, and
appreciate that.
And it's cool that through gaming we've met each other and just started building a friendship.
Oh yeah, no, and I like it because we built a friendship. Like we met through gaming, but our friendship's not through gaming.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like,
yeah. We don't need the gaming to keep being friends.
Exactly. So it's like you find you start off by like finding something you have in common, and then you just kind of build from there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny because like when we met, I think what was it? We was playing the Splitgate joint, right? And then with the types of games that we both played, we didn't even play the same type of games, but we still linked up, and I would play the games you wanted to play, you would play the games I wanted to play. We made those compromises, found a way to have fun, and realized it didn't matter what we were playing. It was just our energy.
Yes.
It made sense.
Yes.
And it just like kind of like it just blossomed from there.
There you go. And that's a cool thing too, because I tell my wife about you guys, and I tell a lot of the people that I starting to get to know and more, because we've said this openly. There's a lot of acquaintances that we know, and we're cool with people, but not everybody's your friend, and that's okay. And I say to people all the time, I was like, I'm genuinely getting to know people and things like that, and we're still building our friendship, and we're still getting to know each other, and it's cool because we don't need the content to be friends.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and then like because I feel like we don't need the content to be friends because we are the content. Like that's what it is. It doesn't matter if we're playing a game, if we're just chopping it up, if we're driving, road raging in the traffic. It don't matter what we're doing. It's just like it's how we interact. That's what people want to see. Like what I loved was like I made content and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? People like it. You have your own community. But like what I really liked was whenever I like said I was doing stuff with you, people were actually excited to see it because I guess like the energy we had like just made sense and it was entertaining, and it wasn't, you could tell it's not staged. It's just, this is who we are. This is Jimmy. This is Tetsu now. And it just, our energy is what it is. You know
it's cool because like, and I've always said, I don't really co-stream with everybody because sometimes the vibes might not be there, but you build the chemistry. And I think we've built our friendship off of not gaming just by talking. Because I said it the other day when we were in the car driving, we had a good conversation, just talked about life, family, and things. I was like, I gravitate toward you because you're a husband, you know, you're a
Yep.
content creator, you know, you're doing this, you're doing that, and I respect that because I'm a dad. I'm a dad too.
Yep. Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm married too, and then
Yep.
I'm transparent with my community as far as what I'm going on, that stuff too personally, but you know, and that's what gravitated me toward you, and we just kept building friendships off of little stupid things we would do. You know what I mean?
I'm actually glad we did, because like with the way that everything is now, like imagine if our friendship was just off of the games that we played, like or just off of streaming, because like as everybody knows, fellow content creators, even viewers, like it's just not the same. You know what I mean? Like when COVID came, everything was hot. Being a content creator just made sense because everyone needed somewhere to be, to engage and mingle socially with something and have some form of a purpose. And then once we all able to go outside and touch grass, everyone's like, man, fuck this. You know what I mean? And it's like for creators, we had to figure out how to adjust. And like I've seen so many people adjust. Some people not do this anymore, or part-time it again, or just completely like just bash doing it because they didn't like the outcome, how it turned into. Now saying it was a waste of time. And I've seen so many different answers and responses. And I've seen so many people that used to be cool not be cool anymore because what do you have in common anymore?
Yeah.
And then that shows you who's really there and who wasn't. Not because like you dog anybody that's away, just like the whole aspect of like, what did our foundation become? Like, what was it? Our foundation was just off of gaming. We don't game, then we don't rock anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's just what we had doesn't exist anymore because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when you build like that camaraderie with somebody off of your morals and off of who you are and what you want to be, and you're not some staged person, it's easier to keep those friendships no matter what you're doing. Because, oh, I'm not streaming anymore. Now I'm cooking over here in Texas or something.
Yeah.
Like that. People are still going to rock because it's still the same.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So when you get with somebody that has that mindset, is professional, takes it serious, it's easy to just link up and adjust how we support each other. And that's what I like, especially you taking off this podcast stuff. I'm so proud of you.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm trying, bro. And you know, you've always told me, hey, do this, do that, and but the thing is that a lot of people will say that and do that, but you genuinely mean it, and I know you do, because we've talked about other things and the way we carry ourselves as fathers and husbands, and so I know that when you genuinely tell me something, you're not just being the yes man or the no man. You know what I mean? Like I genuinely value your opinion on shit, and a lot of people I don't care because people we were talking about in the car. Like, hey, you should do this, you should do that. Like, fucking, who are you? You're telling me to do all this stuff. Like, thank you, but I don't know who you are. You're not in my circle, so you just.
I know everybody called you Jimmy, but you should be Jimmy Dukes. That would be crazy.
What did you say the other day? You're like, oh, it's when other people try to manage your project. What was that called?
Oh yeah, Steve Harvey said. He's like, it's so much easier for people to try to manage somebody else's dream when they don't have to work for it themselves.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that was so deep because it's so true. It's so easy to look at somebody's situation from the outside and say, this is what I would do if I was in your situation. But if you're never in the situation, you have no idea what's going on internally to how that affects somebody. When you do get inside and you do like get into the trenches, then you understand, you know what they've done, what they haven't done. And instead of you telling them what they should do, now you're just trying to make sure that they stay consistent.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Like if I see this as your passion and I know that you're going to go in because I know your mindset, your hustle, like if you say you're going to do it, you do it. So if you're like, hey, Miko, I want to do this, I'm like, the hell, stop it.
Yeah.
I know you're going to do it. I don't think you're going to try. I know you're going to do it. Like, even like with this, dude, every time we link up and do this stuff, you upgrading something, or you're like, oh, I did research on this, or how many people stream that do research on anything?
Yeah,
nobody.
that's true, man. I mean?
So like, I know you're going to do it, so I'm going to push you.
Yeah. And it is a good push, you know, because it's like, maybe you think of this, you think of that. You know what? You're right. Because we were having a conversation about one topic, and I'm like, it's funny how you think that, and me, I'm the opposite. But I respect why you think that way, and you're like vice versa. And so like we get each other's like honest opinion about certain things we might not agree on, or we have different looks on it. But it's cool to talk about it openly. You know, like having that car ride. You know, he came and picked me up, and they live a distance away from where we're at. And just in the car, we were just talking, and I just like, man, this is so cool. We kept saying we were just nerding out that. You know, we've kept in touch, we're building our friendship, and we're getting to know each other more and more because, you know, some of the things that we go through life and I might not look at certain things a certain way until you tell me, until that. And you've told me many times, you know what? I thought about what you said, and maybe I should not do this or I should do that. But, and I'm just giving you my opinion of how I carry myself. I'm not telling you what to do, but hearing somebody talk about something and they're genuinely giving your opinion without being like not biased or trying to give you a hard time or try to change your mind. It just, maybe you'll just look at it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
You can still stay on how you think about it, but like, okay,
That's why
I get
like
it.
That's why I like the phrase. I may not understand. I may not agree with the what, but I agree with the why. Like I may not understand or agree the what. Like if this happens, I would do it this way. You would do it this way. I may not agree because I would do it differently, but I understand the why you did that, and it makes sense. And if I was in that situation with the why, I could see that making sense, and that's just out of respect.
Right.
Like, when you respect somebody, you know what they're into. You don't have to agree with somebody to be their friend.
Right.
Like, I feel like the best way to be someone's friend is when you don't agree. How do you still respect each other? And then like everything happens for a reason. Like, what was the thing we said too? There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place where my approach to things makes sense. There's a time and a place where your approach makes sense. And it's like you have to be able to like bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like we're not perfect. We all go through completely different things. We all have different upbringings, different mannerisms, different like morals, different cultures, everything like that. We're not going to find someone that's exactly us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to be able to find someone that has those differences and to sit there and be like, okay, I see you though. Like, you're not me, but I see you. I know what you're doing. I see it. I peep it. I appreciate it. I respect it. And I could actually put that into a mindset of my own to better myself.
Yeah.
And then once you do that with people and you find those people you can do that with, I'm like, yo, hold on to them because they're not everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like I said that even with just talking to people even yesterday, and I'm meeting new people. It's cool because I mean I like meeting people. That doesn't mean that I'll be their friend or they'll be my friend, but it's okay as when you can tell that the other person acknowledges and understands that, it's easier to talk to people and get to know them on a different level. Like, we don't have to be best friends. Like, we don't have to co-stream. We don't have to do this. We're friends already, and we're just building off our friendship.
Yeah.
And when it comes to content creation, a lot of people they like for this meetup. Yeah, it's cool seeing a lot of people when I'm getting into, but we're all not gonna all talk throughout the whole year.
There's mad people there.
Yeah, and it's okay. but it's okay though. But you can see what's up and talk to people. But the people that you start getting close to is what we're talking about. That's when you can start saying, your opinions on certain things, and like, because we're knowing each other.
Yep.
We're getting to know each other, so it's easy for me to say, well, you should be doing this. You know what I mean? You should be doing that.
Well,
and then if I told you that, then you're like, oh man, maybe he is right. Maybe I'll think about it, because I wouldn't say it just to say it.
Exactly. Like, if you're saying it's for a reason, like, he's not just blowing smoke up your ass. And that's when you built that respect and that camaraderie with somebody. You understand, oh yeah, he's not just gassing me up, or he's not hating. He's like, he's looking out. And it takes another level of like self-respect and like outward respect to another person to be able to give them constructive criticism, knowing that they could react to it really bad. Like, you have to have like that strength and respect within yourself to know how to say it, and you have to know that person to know how to say it to them, that they'll accept
the way you deliver it.
Yeah. It's not like how I would tell you something may not be the way I tell like my wife something, my kids something. Like, everybody's different. There's triggers for everybody, and like you have to like just go into somebody's domain that they have a passion in and just try to criticize them before you even got to know them. It's like the foolish thing in the world.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they've done, what they have it. You don't know how they're going to react to it. You don't know if like what you said could have triggered them. And then they react to you negatively, and then you get offended. And you're like, well, what a dick.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not. Maybe
he's
just the timing.
Yeah, exactly. The way he presented his comment or their comment is like, and the way you took it all the delivery, the time and place, how you were saying, like if I'm on stream and I'm telling you, hey, you should be doing this, like, why the fuck is Jimmy telling me this on stream while I'm like, has nothing to do with what's going on?
You should play Pokemon
right?
Unite. Like,
right.
All right.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, you know what I'm gonna do now, right now.
Next time you go live, I can't wait.
I can't wait.
Yo,
I'm gonna just tell you what to do.
Like, when you play the game, you're supposed to win.
But I mean it, right?
Yeah, right. Like, no, deadass. Like JK, but not really.
Right. So like, tell us what you got going on. I know you rebranded. A lot of people might not know, but you rebranded from the unfortunate one to Titsu's Temple.
Titty Temple.
Titty Temple. Tetsu's. and I kept TT. Tetsu's Temple. So talk about like the rebrand and like why you did it, because I know it was a big deal. We talked about it. And I thought it was cool because you're like, hey, what do you think this? What do you think that?
Yeah.
And I know that you weren't just asking anybody. You were getting feedback from your community, but you were asking me, hey, what do you think of this, because of this, because of that? And I thought it was cool because you were going about it, in my opinion, you were calculated with the rebrand, because you're like,
I almost didn't do it, to be honest. It was like, you guys my wife. Like, there was about 4 times I was like, why am I doing this? It's just, I already invested so much into this. But it was just like, shout out to Kaju's Castle. He's actually the one that kind of talked to me a little bit about it and let me know things that he noticed. Not just like, he wasn't like, hey, I'm better than you, this is what you should do. He was just like, hey man, when I try to find you here, this is a problem I'm having, this is a problem, maybe you should put that into consideration, it'll get you more grow. Because he was like, he told me, he was like, I feel like more people should find you, but right now the way you have everything in place, it's actually hard to find you. And I didn't think about that. And I was like, but what do you mean? He told me, it was like, your name, not everybody can spell unfortunate. And I'm like, dumbass, but I was like, nah, I can't be that guy. I was like, nah, it makes sense, like sometimes you just can't spell for whatever reason certain words. It's cool. So I was like, you can't find me. And then also the 1, I had to tell everybody when you search for me that the O in 1's a 0. And it's like, I did that initially to be unique, but actually it was a dumb business move, because now you gotta give somebody an extra step to find you.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that makes complete sense. And I was like, it just didn't make any sense. Plus, I'm also trying to be very motivating. As a lot of us know, a lot of the social media stuff is a lot of depressed people. And it's not like a shot at nobody. It's just the reality of what it is, and they come on here with their social, like, insecurities, and like some people don't like talking in big groups, or some people don't like certain things, but when you're on the internet, it's a little bit easier to mask those out. You know what I'm saying? So to come into our communities, I know I have a handful of people, I've seen some in yours, that are like, they really kind of need like what we do for them. Like, they tell us all the time. So it's like, I try to motivate and inspire, because they come into the stream sometimes and be like, yo, I'm going through this, somebody in my family died, whatever. And I'm like, damn, like, what can I say to make you feel better? So I was like, I'm trying to be motivating, but I'm the unfortunate. So I was like, it just kind of seemed like almost hypocritical. Like, let me tell you how to be good with my depressed ass. Like, it didn't make sense. So it was like, I need to find a way to make this work, that the name fits like my message, my direction, and also my passions. And it was like, unfortunate one, there's no anime tie. That's just whatever. The anime tie was in my logo that I had before. So I was like, I need to redo everything. I just need to start over from scratch, and I got to figure it out. So I was like trying to figure out ways to do it. And I was like, I want my name to make sense. I wanted to have a little bit of a Japanese flair to it, because I love Japanese culture. So we were going up with a bunch of stuff. I know my poor wife, she was like coming up with all these different like names to like I was like, a word that describes me.
Yeah.
And she was,
and I was like, asshole.
Yeah.
You're like,
and I was like, no. I was like something shorter. You're like, dick. I was like, touche.
Yeah, because I remember you were calculated about it, and I like the reasoning and the why behind it. I was like, well, because I did tell you, I was like, I don't know, man, you've already kind of like, everybody knows you as that, and you're like, yeah, but, and you gave me your list of reasons of the cons compared to the pros, and I was like, all right, that makes sense, because you're not doing it just to do, because we've seen people
that just do it.
Yeah, they just rebranded just to rebrand. Why? Oh, I'm this now. Well, why? I just wanted to change it.
Yeah.
No, but there was actually a reason behind the, your content, the way you carry yourself, the things you like, and you tied them all together in the name, and you came up with the rebranding, and I thought it was cool. You know what I mean?
I
like,
appreciate that.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like, all right.
It just means something. Like,
yeah, it makes more sense.
And even like now, you guys can see it. We're kind of rocking. I'm not trying to self plug, but I'm a self plug.
Yeah, but these are exclusive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the only one that's got that. It's messed up.
It says wifey on here too. I'm just Shout out to the wifey over there.
Actually, it says asshole.
Right?
I had to get him back.
But it was too short.
So now we put dick.
Right? Dick. D-I-K.
Yeah, D-I-K, but there's 4 of them there too. Like, they needed 2 for the K. Like, there's one for the line, the other one for little straight C. I liked it because Tetsu is short for Tetsu no Ishi, which means the will of iron, which was like, I'm determined. And I was I asked like 15 different people, give me 3 words that describe who I am, and the one word that everybody had was a variation of determination. Everyone was like, some people like never giving up or determined or this or that. So I was coming up with so many different ways of doing that, but it was like I didn't want to be Tetsu no Ishi because it's too Japanese that I don't think the American side of my following would be understanding.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta find a way to make it make sense. So then like Kaju told me, he was like, well, what's really good that he learned from another bigger creator was they were like, yo, give your name and then give your domain. Because when everyone's coming into your stream, when everyone's coming into where they're watching your content, they're coming into your domain. So the first word is who you are. Second word is your domain. So I was like, okay. So then I was like, I want to be, I try to be, I'm a very like, I think a lot. So it's like, I'm trying to be smart with the way that everything makes sense. I was like, I want to have like some form of alliteration. So that's why I was like, something that has to start with a T. That's a domain. That makes sense. And I was like, oh my God, a temple is Japanese, the temples and all these. So it's not just Japanese, but that's known.
I can relate,
Yeah. So it was like, that made sense as alliteration. And they said short and sweet. You don't want to have like, apartment or something like some long word that requires spelling, because then I might as well just be unfortunate.
Yeah.
So it was like Tetsu's temple. Tetsu, super easy. It's how it sounds. Temple, everyone knows how to spell temple. So it was like, that works. And then
and it was more meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before
people like Tetsu, I was like, there's an anime character named Tetsu. That's his name. It's Tetsu 4 times.
Really?
Yeah. And his body's made out of iron. And he's like dummy determined to get stuff done.
Nice.
And it's on My Hero Academia, if anybody watches.
Yeah.
It's that one of those guys.
Yeah, because and you would always jokingly say, because with the unfortunate one, it's like, why are you the unfortunate one? Because, and it always was tied to negative things.
Yep.
And you were like, you know what? I'm over here, and you just said earlier, I'm over here trying to be positive and everything, and my fucking name is the unfortunate one. I was like,
and the reason is negative.
Yeah, exactly. And and that's why when you started saying all that kind of stuff, I was like, it fucking makes sense with the rebrand. So, and you do your positive message, and you got your core community that loves it. A lot of people still don't know, but it is what it is, because sometimes we're not in each other's radar, and it's okay. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't take the time to care, and it's fine. You know what it is too, but yeah, you know what I mean. 100%. But I'm glad that you went through the rebrand, and you stand behind it, and you didn't regret it.
Well, it's dope too, because it was like, one of our biggest things in doing this is like trying to find, we're not just trying to just make it just streaming. We want to get partnerships. You want to get like, you want brands that make sense to your mission. And I wasn't finding anything being the unfortunate one. And then my boy was like, well, because it sounds negative. And then the LLC I almost started, my mindset was like, it's too intimidating. And I was like, damn it, it's true. Like, some people don't want to touch the word. Excuse me. So I was like, well, I got to fix that. So then I did this, changed it out. And then the first partnership offer I got was for Buddha Stones. And because I buy their stuff, every stream, everything I do that I'm on camera, I'm wearing these. Mm-hmm. And they were like, we noticed you wear our stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, and your name goes with what we do. It's all like Buddha style stuff. And they were like, we would love to do something with you. And I was like, oh, word? So I looked it up, and it was like a legit partnership offer. And I was like, dude, 1 week into changing, and then I get...
It's already a plus.
Yeah, but I got an offer from something that I was never expecting, but it makes sense. Because it's like, you get a partnership to, let's say, an energy drink spot.
Yeah.
Or a specific, and like Razer or something like that. But let's say you don't like that brand. Mm-hmm. But then you're like, for business, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You can't really sell it because you don't believe it.
Yeah.
I can sell these because I literally wear them everywhere I go.
And the same company and the same brand, right?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So I was already a consumer before I was a representative.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's like, you have to be that. Because then I'm not bullshitting when I'm like, yo, these are fire. I use them for this. I do this. Like, I meditate with these. I do these things. So if you want to be a part of that, or a lot of people like beats.
Yeah.
But now but they also upgraded to like bags, clothes, everything. And I was like, damn, this is the perfect time.
That's so cool.
Because they need advertisement for their new stuff. So I was like, and my kids like the stuff. So I was like, I could literally, like, we are already going to be consumers for this. So then why not sit there and advertise?
Right.
So it just made it,
especially in a brand that you already like and you've been using, because the difference, you said it, if somebody approaches you and you don't fucking use them, like, well, I guess I'll be a Razer creator because they're going to spend X amount of money, but I like Logitech.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But
you're going to regret it.
Yeah, you genuinely already been using this stuff, and it's cool that they reached out, and it just so happens to be that it fits perfect with your name and with your mission and your shit like that, and you actually use a product. That's dope, man.
Yeah, and it's not gaming, because gaming isn't really well, it's not that it's not profitable, but right now with the direction we were, everyone as a creator was relying on gaming in our field so far. But I wanted to be more. I wanted to do stuff like this, talking podcasts. I want to motivate people. I want to do things like that. That has nothing to do with video games. So for my first offer to be something completely away from video games, to me, I took it as a sign that this rebrand is going in the right direction. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm not going to regret this. I'm not going to fall back on this. I'm not
you
gonna take away.
you didn't second guess it after you did it. You're like, I'm comfortable and I'm moving forward with it.
A lot of people do that. They'll make that jump.
I've seen other people, I've seen, and I won't be saying names, but I've seen one creator do one thing, and they just gradually got away from it, did something completely different, and then he's like, "Sorry, I'm changing because of this," and he lost a lot of people because it was such a drastic change,
huge change. Yeah,
you know what I mean? And he just did it just to do it. The way and it was amazing. He was a way bigger streamer, and he just did it, and it just bombed. I was watching him from afar. And I've known of that other person because of other streamers that watch that person. But I would just go in there because I'm always very observant. I've always told you I like watching people and seeing how they carry themselves and things like that.
Yeah.
So when he was going through that rebound and he just did it and it didn't work, I was like, damn, that was crazy that his core community and what he was doing was completely different. And everybody's like, I can't get with it.
Yeah. And then if you do that and they told you they didn't like it, and then it bombs, and then you go back, they're still not going to respect you because in their eyes, you didn't trust their intuition.
Yep. And
it's like that's what people don't realize, man. Being a leader, a community leader, because like content creators, you have to have a form of leadership because you're building a following, but they're following your lead. You know what I'm saying? You can inspire people to do things as a creator, and it's like it's hard because there's a lot of expectation that comes with it that people don't realize. It's like, oh, you're just playing games, or oh, you're just talking on a mic to somebody about bullshit. People really take what we say to heart. And if you say something that could hurt somebody's feelings, like it'll impact them, and then how they feel will make other people feel that way. You have a semi kind
of platform, so what you say, even you don't think matters,
even changing
it might matter to one person.
Yeah,
you know, there was because I watch Joe Rogan a lot, and he would have this guy Eddie Bravo, and Eddie Bravo's a jiu-jitsu guy, 10th Planet, whatever, right? He would say crazy shit.
Yeah.
Just to say crazy shit. And Joe called him out. I was like, dude, you can't just say that just to say that.
Yep.
People are listening to what you're saying, and they might not they'll take it serious. So the way you carrying yourself, and you just can't say outlandish and dumb shit, because if you like it or not, some people are looking up to you, or they hear your message and they might interpret it a certain way. So you can't just say shit just to say shit.
Well, and then you got people that are preying on your downfall.
Yeah.
Like no matter what you do, you're gonna have people that root for you, and you're gonna have people that are waiting for you to slip up, and they're gonna dramatize it and just make it all crazy. And now look, he said he was this, but look at who he really is off of a mistake that you probably could have made, or something stupid that really doesn't represent you. There's people that prey on your downfall. Some just because they have nothing better to do, or some people got a beef. You never know. Once you put yourself, that's why I tell so many people, and some listen, some don't. And it's like, hey, I did my job planting that seed. But when you do anything public domain that anybody can see and have a hold of, you have to be very careful about what you put out. And there's so many people I see out there that just like don't care about their public image, that just do whatever because they want a view. That's going to be held against you in years. Like, and you may not see it now, but look at how many people politicians get called out for stuff, or people that are like whatever because 10 years ago they did this. And it's like, dude, that was 10 years ago. Like, but you have to think about that, because if it was easy to just go out there and do stupid shit and get famous off of it and never have to pay the price, we'd all be doing it.
Right.
You know, this isn't like you have to take this serious. So it's like, even with the rebranding, like I value what people said, but it was like, my community, I love them because it's like, not because they just support everything I do, but like they really believe in me.
Yeah.
So it's like, you want to have people that believe in you, that are going to push you no matter what and say, whatever you do, I'm here. And then it ties with having friends that are okay with saying, nah, I don't agree with this.
Yeah.
You have to have that balance. So it's like, I have my community backing me that I knew no matter what decision I made, they weren't going to leave me out in the dust. But then I had friends like you, and I had friends like Kaiju and a few other people that they had no problem telling me if it didn't make sense. Like, nah, that's kind of like away from what you're trying to do. Like, nah, try this or whatever. When I'm genuinely trying to figure it out, but like I always had their back. So when I released it, I was nervous. It was like my first stream all over again. I was like, like I didn't know what to do, but everyone was there. Yeah. And I was like, it was so motivating. And it was just like, but that's because of how I carry myself. Like how we talked about with like, don't go out there and be someone you're not. Because then when stuff gets crazy or things change and you get under stress, you're not going to be able to hold that face, hold that mask. So when you're just you 100%, people are going to support you no matter what you do.
Right.
You're trying something new, you're doing something a little different. They know you're not fake, you're just trying something new. When you get people like that, man, it's dope.
Right. It's easier to go.
More confident.
Yeah. I say it all the time. I tell people that, I might not be streaming, but I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And, people that support me or, anything financially or just by viewing stuff, you're investing time in me. And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Especially with all the numbers, everything that's changed. It's always changing. So, I mean, if you can get people that are supporting you, regardless of what you're doing, that's when you know that you're starting to build that core community, because people come and go, but you have to have that core community of people that are always around or believe in you, how you were saying. And it's good to have, because not a lot of people have it.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I shout out all the people who regularly come into my streams or regularly like all my stuff. We notice that kind of stuff. A lot of people, I feel and I hope that I never get to the point to where like I can't recognize people when they're supporting me on different platforms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't want to I know it's gonna be a point to where like it gets ridiculous, if you know what I mean. But I do what we do, appreciate and notice the core people that are always there.
Yes. That's why I was like going through this with the VIP badges and all these special joints and OG joints and whatever. It does make sense, because God forbid, like we blow up and then we forget, people. It's like they're gonna remember that. We may forget something, but they won't. They'll never forget that we forgot. Yeah. And it's like you got to be really careful. Yeah. So it's like I don't want to be famous. I really don't. I tell my wife all the time, I don't want to be famous, because you see what celebrities go through. They you can't do anything as a celebrity without getting judged. It's like that stress. I don't want that on my family. But it's like I want to be to the position where I can support my family, but that I won't forget my people. Yeah. And that's what I want. I don't want to sit there and become a trillionaire from cursing people out in the rock. Who cares? Right. It's a stupid game. You'll be all right, but I want to be someone that it doesn't matter. We're good. We're not rich. We're good. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then our people, our core group of people, will always be remembered. Will always have something from us, and it's not hard to because I guess it's intimidating when your chat just starts moving. Yeah. You're like, oh. Yeah, got it. Yeah, because you even said it. You will say, "Hold up, guys. I'm gonna finish this point, and I'm gonna go back and check." And you do make it a point that you do acknowledge that you guys are saying something, but I'm gonna go back to it, and you do go back. Yeah, and they stay. Yeah, and you have to do that. Yeah. I learned that from Stone. Yeah, I learned that from Stone. He said in the interview with somebody was talking about. They said, "What's more important to you?" And a guy was like, "My chat." And I forgot who it was that he interviewed, but he was like, "My chat." He was like, "What my people that are spending?" He was like, "A video game could care less about you." He was like, "Any of these other things, they really could care less about you. You're looking for a bottom line. People that are in your chat are there for you." He's like, "So if I don't reciprocate that I'm here for them, then all I'm doing is for nothing." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh my God, that makes sense." Yeah. I was like, "Yes, I need to do the same thing." So I was like, okay, so that I make sure that if I know I can't read it, and I know I'm probably halfway in what I'm saying, I'm going to make sure I acknowledge you. So the first thing I look for is the name. So-and-so. Okay, hey, I see you in there. I got you. Don't leave. And let me just finish this part, and I got you. Then they're like, okay, damn, this dude was in the middle of giving a speech, in the middle of whatever the hell, but he noticed me. Yeah. So I'm going to wait. I want to see what he has to say. And then I'll make sure I get through what I say. And I'm like, all right, cool. And what I'll do is I'll scroll up chat to freeze there. Yeah. So I won't see anything else. I'm like, I see a lot of people in there. I see it still moving, but I got you. Yeah. And you letting them know, I give a damn about what you have to say. Then that's how you keep your engagement. Yeah. Because I saw people that, they'll just read what's at the bottom. Yeah. All those other people felt ignored. And then they leave. And that's a big thing, too. I tell people all the time, even other creators, that reach out to me for little things. I would say, read your chat. Well, there's nobody in there. Well, every once in a while, just glance at it, so you're used to it. Yep. So you're you already are doing it without realizing. Because I've seen other people that they'll be playing the game, and they're trying hard on the game, and people are saying something, and they don't go back and they'll read one or two things, and then it just kind of it's shitty as a viewer. It's I not that you have to acknowledge me that I'm here every single time, but if somebody's adding to the conversation or making a point. You know what I mean? If it's bullshit, then you can kind of just, okay, whatever. That's fucking funny. But if somebody says, hey, I thought this too. Oh, yeah. And then you go into it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, and by all means, we're not big streamers and our shit's going crazy. But I can keep up with what's going on, and I can acknowledge something and go back and state a point.
You know what I mean? And
Gotta
that
be able
goes
to
back.
multitask.
Yeah, that's the thing with the just building that core community. And that's what, looping back around, like just building bonds with people and building friendships through this
Yeah.
gaming thing. And it goes past just the gaming. And especially when it's like your core community members who are in there always shooting the breeze with you and adding to the conversation or saying certain things too. You're just like, hey, we're all here together.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you to take the time to come in here and say what's up or, say something, I could acknowledge it within reason.
Especially sharing, like you're sharing. Some people share personal.
Yeah, within
information.
reason too. Yeah, within reason, I can get back to your shit or whatever, man. So
hell yeah,
so
I like it. You
Yeah,
build a community based off of your morals,
Yeah.
because then they're gonna stay no matter what you do. It's versus being that person that's only I'm a this streamer.
Mhm.
Nah, I'm a community leader. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what we do. We get together and we vibe off.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you can read stuff and realize if it's BS or not. But it's like, what I want to say real quick to piggyback off of that was there's a big difference in watching a live video with engagement versus just watching a video.
Mhm.
Like if I want to watch a video and don't care if you respond to me, I'm just gonna watch your VODs.
Yeah.
But everybody that goes to a live video, you're going for a reaction,
Yeah.
whether it be as a reaction to you or reaction to what's going on. But people want, what's it called, FOMO, fear of missing out. People have that and they want to be there. So like I could watch a video of you doing something and it's like, oh, that's funny, huh? But if I was there and saw it happen, especially when we do as creators clips of something that some people don't understand why it was so funny. Why did we clip that? Oh, but I was there. I remember because this and this happened. And then boom, oh, it's a different feel. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in there reacting, that's why I always, in my lives, that's why I always care about content. Community chats. Because my content is based off of my interaction with people, because I want my VODs, my short term and long term, to be, you should have been there.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
oh,
'cause
you like that? Should have been there.
Yeah.
Wait till you see it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that gives people I'm trying to think of like a reason to go to the streams.
Yes.
Right. A lot of people feel, and there's different ways that people go about their content, but I've noticed by me just putting out short clips of the podcast of episodes, people get interested and then they go watch it.
Dude, that's
what I mean?
Yeah. I love
That's
that
how it works for
adjustment you made.
me. And talking to other, like you using that as a reference too, like you put out this clip and you're like, oh, what happened? So like things like that always happen. I was telling you the other day, I was like, clip that shit, man, because you will be saying some of the randomest shit, but like having good points and it's funny. And I'm like, you gotta just put that shit out there, bro, because it is.
Hey, man, I just say, look,
and that's just because of going back and forth with people in the chat. You know what I mean?
90% is wifey, man.
Yeah.
She just look good. And I'm just a barbarian. I'd be like that couch, man. I was like, yo, it's Pops' couch, but it's about to be mine.
Right.
And people like, hey, yo, wait, where did that come from? I'd be like, man, I love my wife, dog. Like, it is what it is. I could just randomly be talking about eating ramen. Next thing you know, I'm like, yo, wife, you look good. I'm about to put her on the couch. Like,
I was like, clip that shit, put it out there. So, you've gone through the rebrand, you know what I mean? You're moving forward with the content. Like, how's this year been? I know it's been up and down for a lot of people, but how's your state of mind when it's coming to this? Because a lot of people are like realizing this is not maybe for them. You know what I mean? And so how do you feel how everything's going? Because we have this conversation all the time.
Yeah.
You're a full-time guy. You have to keep up with different ways to keep streams going and things like that. It's easy for me to not stream and not worry about financially just trying to make things work. So how you've been dealing with that and, with the ups and downs? Because, we've seen people gone.
Yeah. I mean, to be 100% honest, like I have no problem being transparent. It's been a roller coaster. There's some months where I feel confident that what I'm doing holds a purpose. And there's some months that I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And but like the only thing that keeps me going is just knowing, like, people that know me, I'm not going to give my whole life story. People know me, know why I'm streaming and why it actually is harder for me to stop. Not because I'm lazy or not because anything, but like I have injuries and things are stopping me from doing the career that I literally went to school for. I didn't go to school to be a streamer. Like, nobody goes to school to play video games. You know what I'm saying? Even podcasting, like, some people just do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a chef by trade and I can't do it. So it's like, well, shit, like, if this doesn't work, what will? Because I can't do certain things I used to be able to do. And people that know me know my limitations. So it's like, I'm too limited living off of somebody else's expectation. I gotta make it online. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's some months where it's rough, super rough. There's some months where I would almost quit, I think, twice this year. I almost just like, I need to find something else.
Yeah.
because everybody went through that. And
not
honestly,
quit content creation, but just being a full time.
Yeah, no, there was 1 month I completely was about to be done. I was like, I just can't do this anymore. And I'm gonna say it, like, a lot of people are scared to say this, and if you are, it's all good. Like, I'm not afraid to say it. Like, streaming makes gaming not fun anymore. And when you are doing something that's supposed to be entertainment, and now it's become a job and a chore, and then that's not working, you don't want to touch a video.
Yeah.
You get into that mindset of like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, that happened to me multiple times. There's times I was like, I'm not going live. I'm gonna go upstairs. I would just go upstairs and lay with wifey like I'm a 2-year-old. Like, oh, this sucks. Like, but I would do it. Why? Because it's just mentally draining.
Yeah.
And people would be like, oh, you just play games. It's whack. No, like, it's a lot more than just gaming. Like, there's so much to it, and something like you have to really experience and go through these ups and downs. And I'm grateful for the ups, because it makes me not give up on the downs. Because imagine if we started and we didn't get any love, any traction, any help, any growth. It gave up in January.
Yep.
Because it was like, I don't really have anything. But like, when you have something, you have people that believe in you. You have people that come into your chat and say, I have people like, that's why I won't give up. Is because I had at least 5 to 10 people that said that they were on the verge of no longer being on this earth. And what I was doing helped them still be here. And they're still in my streams. I was like, I'm never going to stop. There's days where I'm like, I'll just take a day off. I'm not quitting. I can take a day off. I can take 2. But I'm not going to give up because I can't.
Yeah, and that helps with the purpose too, right? Your purpose and the way the way you're carrying yourself and things like that with the message. And
that's
I like
why,
that.
That's why I rebranded myself to this too, because how can I name myself Tetsu and say I'm Iron Will and I give up?
Exactly.
So now it's forcing me to not give up.
Yep, like being a hypocrite and shit like that.
Yeah,
that's good, man. And I see you know, always, you know, trying to do different things, and you're transparent and willing to say, hey, I tried. We wanted to play this game. We was going in, but it just doesn't make sense, right? You know, but that's the thing. It goes back to the whole variety thing that we're all experiencing now, and you doing your TikToks and doing the cooking and involving your family with certain clips. You know, you're just showing everybody a little bit of you in different aspects of life. And I think that once we start doing that, certain type of people gravitate toward that, because you're not just the positive person that's giving motivational speeches or comments like that. Oh, I also do cooking stuff, and I've been doing this with the TikToks, and I have the kids do this, and my wife has this. You know, it's cool because they get to know you in a different aspect of life a little bit, and people gravitate toward you. You know, not just because of the game that you're playing. How you were saying, you know what I mean? Because of the way you carry yourself.
Lots of pros and cons.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll play games one time and say, all right, guys, this is the one-off game. Let's see if it makes sense. Played it for 2 hours. Sorry, guys. At least I got some reels out of it.
I loved it.
Yeah,
though.
you know what I mean.
I didn't.
Yeah, and that's with me with my streaming. It's funny because we're such good friends, but we don't fucking play anything together because we have different tastes in fucking video games. I'm like, bro, I'll play any shooter. You're like, I can't play any shooter. You know what I mean? But you'll play a game for me and I'll play a game for you. But I think it's funny because we're variety streamers, but we don't play anything. We don't fucking play.
Yeah.
We end up just talking in Discord or bullshitting more than we ever play games.
Yeah, we'll be in a lobby for like 2 hours just talking. Like, we'll try this game. 2 minutes. The first game in either you or me is like trash. And then you'll play Fortnite for like 2 weeks with Xander. And I'm playing something else. I'm like, you know what? I'll give Fortnite a go.
And you're like,
Jimmy.
You're like, I'm burned out on Fortnite.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't want to play that shit. I'm like, damn it. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna get my groove in, get my little oomph in, and then I finally get burnt out. You're like, all right, I'm gonna play with Xander. You wanna play with K-Money?
No, fuck.
Hell no. I just played it for 2 weeks.
Right?
No way. Like the time, but that's what makes it fun, because it's like even the games that we would play at the same time together, we play at different times,
right?
So, but it's like, but nothing's changed. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it fun, because it's like, dude, those moments are so funny when we be asking, you want to do this? Nope. You want to try something else?
We're just being honest with each other, and it's cool because we don't just do it just to do it.
And there's some times where I'd rather just rock with you and not a whole group of people.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, that's another podcast in its own. And I'm like freaking, like, you know, how many people should you play with at once? And it depends on how everybody is individually with you and each other. And it's just like, there's some people I just can't rock with because of A, B, and C. And there's some people I can rock with. I can't rock with like this person by himself or this person by himself, but together it makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's some people that I could rock with both of them, but together it doesn't make sense. It's just, it's crazy. But like, there's some days that like, I'm like, yeah, Jimmy, let's rock with some other people too. Or let's just us rock on something.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I like we can switch it up.
Yeah.
And it's cool. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't, we could fall back and just doing our own thing.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, and I like that we always loop around and have these conversations. And
Yeah.
you know, we did that whole Not Just Gamers Dad series, and people still watch them. You know, even though they're a little older, I think the topics were so broad that you could watch those anytime.
Yeah, and
You know,
a lot of them had nothing to do with games.
at all. And
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people started seeing that oh man, it's cool that these guys are doing that, and we're actually friends building content that makes sense for us, and we're having fun doing it. It might not lead to financially doing like money or whatever, but it's cool to get out and be able to do a project together.
Yep.
And we're you know, second season's still coming, you know, in a couple months, you know, but but when it's cool because we didn't feel like we needed to do it, but when we did it, it was cool. And we even
Yeah,
jokingly
worked.
say like, hey, we'll take 2 weeks off, and here we are months later.
Dude, I was not expecting.
No, but
I was- when we
that's
took
how
it off, I was-
everything changes.
Yeah, I
man.
was so ready
Everything's
to
going
go.
on.
Yeah, I was like, dude, in the 2 weeks, 3 days in, I was like, I don't want to take 2 weeks anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. Like, this was super fun. Like this, I had a schedule, made sense. It was super fun. I was like, finally doing something that's not gaming. It's super dope. I like it. Da 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 da. And then after the 2 week mark hit, then it was like life.
Yeah,
It
there's a
was
lot
like,
of things that were
yeah.
going on
And it's just
that we
crazy to keep up.
couldn't figure it out, and we both agreed on it. It's like,
Yeah.
let's not do it just to do it. Like, we
Yep.
have to sit down, because the what we put out is, we're not just throwing things on the wall.
Yeah.
We know that this works. Let's do it right.
Yeah, it makes sense at that moment.
Yeah, you know, it's like, we know it works, but let's do it right. Let's not do it just to do it and rush it,
100%.
and then it be shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
You know, we're not like that. Yeah, we don't like that, and that's why you know, the topic of this conversation, just building those bonds and just being honest with each other, because you're like, no, let's not wait, and I'm like, well, I got this, I got that, and then when I was ready, you're like, dude, I got this going on, I got this going on.
Yep.
And we didn't get mad at each other for letting
Yeah.
each other know what's going on with each other's lives.
I was mad. I was
You know?
pissed.
But it was still
Fucking
pending, man,
asshole.
and we're gonna do it, and it's gonna
Yeah.
work. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, so we just build
Yeah.
the anticipation a little bit more for you son of a bitches. But yeah, man, I love creating content with certain type of people because it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everybody can make content with each other just because you're a content creator.
Yes.
You know what I
People
mean?
need to people.
And a lot of
Yes.
people need to be okay with that. Hey, you're not in this co-stream. You're not invited here.
Yeah.
Or why didn't you ask me? Or why, you know, things like that. Hey, just
Just
don't
wasn't
take
the
anything
time.
personal,
Time and
anything
place.
like that. Everybody has different lanes and vibes when they play certain games.
Yep.
Like, I can't keep up with you guys with Naraka. I know you would let me play Naraka with you guys.
Hell yeah.
But if y'all going in on ranked and shit like that, having my dumbass not keep up and shit like that, I wouldn't do that to you.
Yo, you were great though. Look, don't let them lie to you guys. Wait a minute.
I mean, I'm okay. Any game I play, I'm decent. I'm not the best guy, but I'm not in last.
She's like this.
Right? I'm not the best guy, but I'm not in last always.
No, you made sense though. Which people, I'm like, damn it, Jimmy, like you made sense because you're a shooter.
Yeah.
So when you had the cannon and the other stuff, I was getting in there.
Oh,
getting
yeah,
all their
that was
attention,
dope. Yeah.
and you was blowing them away
Yeah.
with the cannon. You saved me like 6
Yeah,
times.
yeah, that's
so I was
true.
like, I have no problem because
Yeah.
I'm used to playing. I'll take all the smoke.
Yeah.
Because I can survive somewhat. Just blow us
And
all
I
up.
said I
don't
will
give
be
a damn.
going back to Naraka to play with. I like that because I'm anytime that there's any type of shooter games or whatever, I'm always kind of the support guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm like, what do you need? Pings. You need my health. You need
Yeah.
ammo. You know,
Yeah,
take my
exactly.
gun, or you know, take my weapon. But yeah, like we have different style of games, but I always feel like I wouldn't do that. I know if I had to ask you, like, hey man, let's play ranked. You're like, you really want to play? Okay, cool. You know, but I wouldn't just say to play rank and I'm not trying to be good. You know what I mean? We could rock and play in regular lobbies and shit like that.
Well, dude, the custom lobbies are dope. Like, I know it's gonna be a lot to talk about it, but they just added PlayStation 5. So now PlayStation can play it. It was only at computer first, then they opened it up to Xbox for about a year. Now they're opening it up to PlayStation. So now it's fully crossplay. So if you're on PlayStation, we can even make a lobby together. But they have custom lobbies too, and they're allowed. You can either choose to block or allow crossplay. They got a new one that's domination, 15 versus 15.
Damn.
So I was like, first tournament I'm holding is gonna be PlayStation versus Xbox.
There you go.
If you're on Xbox on this side, PlayStation on this side, go at it. Don't even worry about the points. Just meet in the middle. Just throw hands. Like
Nice.
crazy.
that's
what happened
so
to me.
cool, right?
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I
Make
was
a
like,
circle.
"Ooh, what's this?
Yeah, make a circle. Like everybody starts going in battle. That would be dope.
Bro, I went into that. I was like, what is this mode? Everyone's like, it's fire. It's fire. I was like, all right, I'll try it. I was like, wait, is this domination? It's like 5 points. And they're like, some of them are kind of far. They're like, what the hell? So I was like, I'll just go in the middle. I'll figure out what's going down. So I went to the middle, walked up, and like 10 people just walked up on me. Like, yo, what are you doing on our side of the block? Punk type shit. I was like, oh, snap. But they all stood there, like, posted up, like they was about to jump me. And I was like, oh, this is about to be crazy. And then like 10 people on my side came up. And it was like that, what's that old school movie? Damn. The
Gangs of New York?
Kind of like that, but it's like the dancing joint with the West Side Story. I was waiting for someone to just start snapping and shit. I was like, oh, we about to, where's no sense? Like, we about to start dancing? The next thing you know, everyone just, wah, just in the middle, just ching, ching, ching.
That's
ching.
so dope.
People activating like their abilities and shit, and people healing each other. Dude. I was like, yo.
Big ass battleground and shit.
Yeah, and after everybody died, no one got a point because we didn't take any points.
But that's why it was a custom game. That was cool. Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is fire.
That's how you could make it fun. Like, yeah, that's how you could make it fun. So now you're back into the Narok and going about being the variety streamer. You know, it's hard, and you've even said it. Hey guys, it's kind of hard for me to play this game because it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
And it's cool that you're open and saying that, because a lot of people will just, all right, you guys want to play it? All right, we'll play this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's hard to hold a stream, let alone if half the people don't care about the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, if I don't even like playing this game that much, like, it doesn't make sense, guys. We can, if we can do all this and those incentives, like, hey, y'all want to have a random ass game night? We can play that. All right, but let's work on our mission and what we're doing and what I want to provide content wise in the games that I want to look forward to and play.
Yep. Help me help you.
Yeah, because I have core, like, I will play any shooter games. Like, that's me. That's my core genre for games, is I'll play shooter games. Not just one shooter game. I'll play a little bit of everything, but at least it's all shooter games. So if I play something completely different, if I'm playing I was playing like a 2D game the other day and I was jumping around, and oh, this is cool, but it's not really something I do, but I was like willing to do it, but it's not something I'll do all the time.
Exactly. Or sometimes you won't do it online. Like, I'm going to start doing some new stuff. I'm not really going to, like, say too much. I'm going to wait till I announce it. But, sometimes you got to be able to mix online stuff and offline stuff. You have to. Like, because you got to be able to switch up, because there's some stuff that doesn't make sense to be live. There's some stuff that doesn't make sense to be online. And there's stuff that doesn't make sense to even be, like, offline stuff. Like, some games you need to stream. Like, some games that, no, you shouldn't be streaming.
Yeah.
Make a YouTube video.
Yep.
Like, there's just ways to go about things. It's like, once you learn, you have to be able to adjust. Once you do, you're good.
Yeah.
So.
And that's like always the ever evolving, changing of things that all individually are always trying to figure out. Because
just don't do reaction videos.
Yeah, I mean, if you get stuck and being complacent, doing the same thing over and over again, you're not gonna grow or you just evolve. Or, like, a lot of people are gonna gravitate towards somebody who's doing a little bit of what they're already doing, and then bringing in a little bit of this, a little bit
and
of
know how to follow a trend.
Yeah.
Like, don't just do it because everyone's doing it. Because if that's not what you're known for, it's gonna look stupid.
That's another thing too that I mean, I get it. It makes sense for a lot of people, but I was even talking to Spank Queen, and she was saying it. She's like, you know what? My highest video on TikTok was 1 million people, and I was singing. I don't want to do singing TikToks all the time just because it hit a lot of numbers. Like, it's not me.
Yep.
And I was like, well said, because a lot of
100%.
people will do something just because everybody else is doing it, and they want to chase the numbers, which is fine. If that's what you want to do, but that's not me. If I'm gonna start doing shit that I don't normally do,
you're never gonna be happy.
Yeah, just kind of like, then you're gonna get that person. You've even said it sometimes. If you play a random game or whatever, and that was that one time off game, and you don't play it again, like, you lose somebody. Compared to if they already know that, hey, we're just switching in this game, and if they're around your community, at least they know what's going on. Like, hey, I normally don't always play this game, but I play this and this. I play these style of games. Oh, okay. He not might play this game, but he also plays other melee battle royale games.
Yeah, or like they'll be like, man, you don't play this anymore? Oh, wait, you play this? I play that too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, because I'm telling everybody, like, man, like, gamers don't play one game.
Yeah.
We don't eat one thing. We don't drink one thing. Your life is a variety.
Mm-hmm.
Experience itself is a variety. So it's like, you had to be able to make your variety make sense with people's lifestyles. And you had to be able to, like, realize that there's certain times that people are going to get off at a different exit. We're all on the same highway, but we get off at different exits. But we'll eventually get on that highway again. but don't worry about that. If it's not your exit, keep focus on the road. You know what I mean? And it's like, you got to be able to do that with your variety content, or you just, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't cling to what you are and like what you represent. It's just, people are going to see that it's forced.
Yeah.
And I always live by, I can't remember who said it, but it was a reel I saw before I even was streaming. Was it a reel? I don't know if those things were called reels back then, but it was just a motivational speaker was talking about, like, you have to find something that makes you feel good before you get paid. Because if you waiting for the paycheck, you're never going to be satisfied, because you know that you can make more. So they're like, if you find something that when you do it, it makes you feel good, then when that stuff comes in, that's a bonus. But at the end of the day, no matter what, the moment you hang it up for the day, you're at peace every day, because you're doing something that makes you feel good before any other monetary gain. And I was like, yo, that's why when I started streaming, I was like, I'm going to make sure what I do, everything I do is what I want. And if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it, because I'm not selfish. But at the end of the day, I can't consistently be there for my community and give them what they want if I can't feel myself doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, there's no way. I think I just dropped this. There's no way that I'm going to just sell my soul.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been that person. I'm not going to be that. So yeah, I got some videos that that got hella views, but I didn't really, it was a reaction.
Yeah. But it's not like you always do, like, you can dabble in stuff all the time. I tell people, hey, like, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And if it makes sense for you to keep doing it, keep doing it. If not, then don't.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, how you were saying, I was like, well, everybody's, because we even tried doing one, and we didn't really release it. We tried to do a reaction video, and it was fun, but it wasn't us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, we both said, we're like, we tried to do it, but everybody else was doing it.
Yeah.
And we're guilty. Like, I'm not saying that we pay attention to what's going on.
There's nothing wrong with trying it.
Yeah, maybe
Try
I could make a couple reaction videos, but now I'm not going to be known and depend on reaction videos to carry my content.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When people are like, oh, now you're just doing podcasts. No, I still stream.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm still playing hockey. Yeah, I'm still doing this. Yeah, I still play with my kids. I'm a package.
Yep.
I'm a package, and I have different things to offer all the time. It's not
Doritos with different flavors,
right? Different shelves. You know, we jokingly had made that. You know, you made up that analogy and shit. It was perfect, but it's true. It's just like, I am Doritos, cheese, Cool Ranch, sour cream, barbecue. I'm, you know what I mean? I'm Jimmy, and just
wait a minute, they got sour cream?
right?
Oh shit! Like,
right? Exactly.
like,
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like, oh, Doritos, you know it's gonna be good if this fool's doing it.
Hey, bro, dude, exactly. All you have to do is build a rep. Sorry, I got dummy animated. You gotta build a reputable brand. Once you build a reputable brand, it does not matter the variation of the flavor or whatever. They're gonna know the brand, and they're gonna be willing to try it. And it's like Doritos. You love Doritos. There's people that don't, so they don't give a damn how many flavors they got. But if I like Doritos and they came out with this new flavor, like, I like Cheetos. So they came out with like the Mexican street corn, and wifey was like, ew. I was like, man, I like Cheetos. I'm gonna try it. Then they came out with this like tangy joint, and I was like, I'm gonna try it, because I know Cheetos bussin'. So I'm like, I'll eat it. I'll try it. Now I'm like, nah, I didn't like this one that much. Or, damn, I like this one. But then they came out with like a popcorn. I was like, they make popcorn, but it's Cheetos. Yeah. It's the same company. They're just trying something different. Yeah. And sometimes it stays on the market. Sometimes it doesn't. Limited time. Oreos does that. They have like 50 different flavors, but they're not all available. Why? They tried a flavor, and they went back and just did analytics. Once they did that and realized it didn't make sense, it's not on the shelf anymore. Yeah. But it's still there if it makes sense later. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, you could just, it's cool. I don't know why they're calling.
You're like, JimmyDukesGaming, how can I help you?
But, you know, going into the, you know, toward the end of this year, where do you see yourself as far as like?
Oh, I got an answer.
Yeah.
Happy.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to see myself happy. That's it. If it means I'm doing the same thing, cool. If it means I try something different, cool. I'm going to make sure my goal by the end of the year is to embody that I'm still at peace with what I'm doing. I'm done trying to give. You have little goals, but by the end of the year, am I at peace? Because you can chase goals all day and hit those goals, but are you at peace? I just want to be happy.
That's cool. I like the simplicity of that. Instead of like people, I want to be this. I want numbers. I want this. That's cool.
Because look at Facebook, dog. Yeah. I want to be a partner. Yeah. I want to have this. I want to have that. And we all got that. No. Facebook just dropped us. So what did you really gain besides stress? Because you chased something that doesn't even hold weight to you anymore, because now either some people, remember when some people got, everyone got it, and people were like, oh, everybody got it now?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. What does that affect you? Who cares if everybody got it? Who cares if you earned it or didn't earn it? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because now, where are you?
Yep.
You don't even give a fuck about your supporters.
Right.
You don't give a fuck about your follower count. Why am I going to make a goal that can change at any minute? But happiness is something that I need to hold on to myself, because that's my life.
Nice.
And I'm not going to be a partner on any platform or a million this, a million that, and be depressed.
Yeah.
Or be
and not
tired.
be happy. With what you're doing. I like that you said that, because I think a lot of people more now, and I've said it many times, when you said the reckoning, it's true, because you get to see people that step out of their comfort zones and start creating different content and stick with it. After that, you see people evolve. The people that kept doing the same thing. I don't see a lot of people doing the same games anymore, or even around anymore playing at all.
Like some people don't even stream at all.
Yeah, I'll randomly think of somebody and I'll go to their page, and it's like been months since they posted anything, and I'm like, oh damn, like they were done. You know what I mean?
Or these big guys that did have everything that everyone strived for, they're not here anymore.
Yeah.
They went to another platform, or they're doing something completely different, or they're taking a break, or one of the big streamers just retired. And their story was like sad. Like, I felt bad.
I have $1 million, but I'm depressed because I'm not having fun doing this anymore. There was one guy, I think he was like a big Fortnite guy, and he was like 24 years old or something like that. He's been streaming since he was 17. And he's like,
not happy.
I'm not happy. I'm retiring. Everybody's like, what? And people that knew him were like, good for you, man.
Yeah, yes, and that kind of
instead of like questioning like, why?
Yes.
You're on top of the world.
That goes into the friendship thing we're talking about. They may not agree or understand the how, but they know the why and respect it. So the people that he kept in his circle knew why and supported him regardless. But the people that weren't his friend, like, how could you quit?
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you were his friend,
you would know.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Damn, that was a good time on my boy.
Yeah, because everybody has
comedy special,
right? Everybody has different goals and different things that they want to pursue, and sometimes they realize that maybe this is not as important as I thought it was. So maybe me just stepping away or doing less is okay. And a lot of people, because I would say, that fucker quit. But in my head, I'm like, I don't know them. I don't know what they're going through.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they realize that maybe this wasn't for them, and they're okay with it. Instead of just seeing somebody say, they quit, haha. They couldn't keep up, haha.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of just being more mindful and thinking about, you know what, maybe they had a lot of stuff going on and it didn't make sense in their life anymore.
Yeah.
And they were okay with it. But they don't have to prove to you or tell you why.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If it's not paying my bills, I really could care less.
I like that the simplicity of just being happy, man. I look forward to the end of this year and seeing what else you got going on, man. Got the rebrand going on. You got your beautiful family, the little girls running around now, and it's cool that I got to see your kids. And even Xander's, were you playing games? I want to play with you and Miko and Keimani. I'm like, no, we're not playing games. But it was cool because like we're generally getting to know each other's families, and our kids are playing games, and it's cool that the friendship that started just through Splitgate randomly. Here we are almost 2 years later, just still talking.
And it wasn't even us planning it. We were like the plus ones.
Yeah.
Or somebody else put us together. Shout out to Hendrix, man.
Yeah, it sounded Hendrix, man. Shout out to Hendrix. He put us on together, and we've built a friendship randomly.
Yeah.
And we've become friends outside of the gaming thing, man. I appreciate your friendship and everything
likewise,
that you add to my life, man. You're an asset in my life, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for your time. You're gonna dap me up or not?
I was crying. I'm sorry.
No, man, I
appreciate you too, man.
Yeah, man, for sure,
real.
Man. So we're gonna go downstairs and go check out this meetup and shit. And
dap me up, dog.
Dap me, right? Yeah, man. I'm gonna freeze frame it like this. I'm not wearing a shirt. Shake my hand. I'm wearing your brand. Shake my hand. Man, for sure, man. I look forward to when we get down and get down to the gamers, not just gamers podcast, and get back on that, because I know that
for real.
People are asking for it, and we haven't forgot. We're gonna get there, y'all. We're gonna get there, and I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so
likewise,
much, and
thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, for sure, man. Always, man. Always the IRL ones are way better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Always, for sure, man.
100%.
Yeah, y'all make sure you go check out Tetsu's Temple. Tetsu's. I keep fucking it up. Tetsu's Temple.
It was supposed to be easier, Jimmy.
I know, and I just fuck it up.
And now I gotta the unfortunate one tomorrow.
Right? I quit. Tetsu's Temple. He's on Kick. He's on Facebook. He's on Twitch. He started doing the variety thing. Y'all go check him out
I'm
on
everywhere.
TikTok and everything. All the description will be down below. He rebranded everything, so it's easy to find him
I stream
on the
Amazon too.
right on the new name. What?
You can stream on Amazon. Hell yeah, I did it. I got 2 followers.
Yes, that's
It's a
dope.
kick.
I wanna talk to
Do
you
it.
about that shit. All
It's
right,
not restream, baby.
right.
Do it to him.
Until next time, y'all. Your boy Jimmy Dukes and Mr. Tetsu's Temple, aka the Unfortunate One. If you guys don't know, make sure you guys keep up with the name.
Appreciate
Until
you
next
guys.
time, peace out, homies. Y'all take care.
Eee.
Talker. So if I'm not doing any of that,
You're like soft spoken and chill.
yeah. So those days when I had the streams and I would boot up and I'm kind of just sitting and it's
Chilling.
like, I'll go back and watch it and my voice is like really low. And I'm like about 15 people that I'm cool with that came in this stream, man.
Yeah.
And nobody's in Knox. Your voice sound kind of low. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So after I watched it back and I'm like, all right, I gotta go get a better mic. I was using the mic off the headset.
Yeah.
And it was like
It's funny when it's cool that you say that. Well, first of all, the gratitude that you're happy where you're looked at, because as a content creator, a lot of the times you just so fucking go, and you're always fucking looking forward that, you know, you don't get the time to sit back and
Absolutely.
appreciate and be grateful for what you did or didn't do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you say that, because I think about a year and a half ago, I was at that little fork in the road where I was just like, man, you know, I'm a full-time job. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Got a lot of shit going on. As much as I would love to stream and be a streamer, I don't have the time to be dedicated to be a full-time streamer. But what I can do is provide a lot of different content. And that's when last year, I was like, you know what? I'm okay knowing that my numbers for streaming aren't going to be hitting, but I'm going to focus on the quality. So when you were saying about the quality, that's how I was like more okay with realizing that, hey, I might not be the best streamer, but I put a lot of content out. So if people enjoy the different content from different platforms, that's a win for me.
Exactly, and that with that is being said as well, it's all about what you bring to it. I had this conversation with the Queen the other day, and it was like, what brings people back? Is it because you're a shit talker? Do you play the game really well?
Mhm.
Is your background nice? Does somebody like your voice? Maybe they're just attracted to you generally, but you have multiple factors in which people are really pulling back up to, take a view at what you're doing, regardless of what you're doing at the same time, because you have those ones in the community that's like, I don't care what you play. I'm gonna pull up
yeah.
the stream, say, even if I just say, well, what's up, and I'm gonna get out of there. But then you also had the ones that'd be like, oh, you not playing this today? I'm gonna go check out something.
Yeah.
And that's fine too.
Yeah.
It's a million content creators on this planet, so it's always what you make it. And that's why I really like it, my background, having a nice background.
I've always saw that when I started, like, I don't know if we can pinpoint the time that we met, but one of the first times I went to the stream, I was like, hey, I like your lights. You're all, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Because you had a nice little back. You always have a dope little background.
And that goes back to the conversation from the beginning where it was like, man, I don't know what's gonna make me stand out.
Yeah.
And I did so much research on streaming, and you'll never do enough.
Oh man, always learning.
You'll never do enough.
Always learning.
Regardless of who you are getting into the content creation space, you'll never do enough research.
Yeah.
Because the minute you think you did enough, it's gonna something else is gonna rise or
always get better, shit like that.
So you never 100% do enough research. It's like an infinite loop of it. But the things you learn on that path, help contribute to where you want to go.
Yeah.
So with the lighting and everything, it was like, I need this. I went through so many streamers, like before I even
decided
One Shot Knox was created. I just had a regular Facebook.
So you were doing
page.
the research before you even got your stuff.
Absolutely,
Smart man.
because I knew that's where I wanted to go. But then things aligned in which I was able to start. My queen helped me start. She contributed a hefty to that, being able to start it.
Shout out to our partners.
It was absolutely. Shout out to Noxie. That's my love. We were able to finally. It was, and I can name the time. It was during the pandemic when Trump was giving out the stimulus checks, and that was one of the moments where we was kind of okay, and it was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this money and go get the computer. And she was like, all right, babe, well, you need to. I was at Micro Center, and she was like, well, if you need like $1,700, take it.
Oh.
I bought the computer. I spent like 4 hours at my brother's house, not making any progress on that thing. First computer I did, mind you, it's 2021.
Yeah.
This is the first computer I've ever
fuck with
bought, and that's, if I don't have any other regrets in life, let this be known, my biggest regret is not asking my parents for a computer when I was 15.
Right.
I'm not a person that really lives by regrets because everything happens.
Yeah. I wish I would have.
Happens for a reason.
Yeah.
It's drawn by what you do in that path. So if I can go back and take, Lil Knox back, if I had one regret in life, the number one would be going back and
getting a PC.
Parents, I would have said, "Fuck them Jordans, fuck that Xbox."
I mean, like you do your shoe game though. That I was telling you, yeah.
Man, I would have. Can I get a PC?
Yeah.
Or buy me parts for it and let me build it. So
yeah.
That was. But yeah, going back to that was the research. I was researching. Then I had a group of friends as well that already had PCs. So it was like, well,
it was cool to already.
You need a PC. I was like, they was like, well, what money we working? All right, let's say 2,000. So they went to iBuyPower, PC Builder,
and trying to help you out and figure it out.
Put the list together, dropped it in the Discord. I took everything and looked at it and went to Micro Center and was like, I need this, and
They put it together.
walked me through. I went home and put it together. So that was the computer.
So you put your first computer together?
Yep.
Fuck, I'm an IT guy, and I just can't.
Man,
I'll have somebody I have a pre-build, bro. I know I can do it, so I respect the people that go that way, man. It's more satisfying, right?
Absolutely, and I'm very much lazy. Like if it's something I really don't want to do, I'm lazy as hell about it. But when it comes to something I'm passionate about, I'll gladly do the research and put the time in to figure it out. Because after I've learned it once, it's nothing but polishing the skill.
There you go. Well
so now I'm at that point after being in this position. Like Black Friday roll around, if the money's right, I would actually try to like either build another computer because the queen wants to get into content creation.
Hey,
so it's at this point where it's like I can
foreshadowing. Y'all keep up.
Model that PC, get it together, make sure it's right, and then
pass it on.
Pass it off to her, so we don't have to buy nothing new. She can just like pimp it out however she wants. Pink mic, you know, however headsets, whatever, and we can have the new one and go from there. But with all that being said, man, it was that research. I'm looking at everybody's background because I was like, I gotta make me different. You know,
you have to stand out in some way, for sure.
I was like, do I want a square? Do I want this? Do I want that? And then I go back and look at my streams, and a lot of it, I'm grossed with it because now, if you know, when you watch my streams, I have nothing on my page. It's literally just the box, and I have my little animated red box, and then my background. Because I've always felt like when you go back and do the walkthrough stuff like I do with, you know, the content, I don't want the chat.
Everybody has like a different overlay style. I know what you mean. So, I'm more of a clean guy myself too.
You're very clean. I like, and one thing you do, if we're giving flowers, that I really took from you was like, I was like, I gotta switch some shit every once in a while.
Yeah,
I get content. I like, even if it's, I like Deuce to change something very minuscule. And it's minuscule to his community, but for him, it was a big change.
Yeah.
And that forced him to switch something up. So he got out of character for a little bit, but it's going to be something new to try out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to do that. So I've been trying to experiment with like different scenes.
You have to kind of change a little bit because you can get complacent. You can get too much in your groove and just be like, I'm good. And then sometimes, like, just even it's a little change is a good change.
Absolutely. And even sound effects, music, like all of that stuff is like, I gotta change.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of this, play something different. So even with the freedom of Kick now and being able to really tap into having your own music, it was like, all right, well, I didn't play this one playlist out. Let me go play this one.
Yes.
So I can play a little
I'm a big music guy too. So a lot of people are like, oh, you listen to so and so? You're like, yeah. But like when I stream, I'm multi-streaming. So I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube. So I can't play everything because I've noticed I Facebook might not catch it, but YouTube does.
Absolutely.
So I just kind of like, but yeah, it's cool that because you can bring a different vibe and let people know, hey, this is the kind of music I listen to, and they would have never known because you couldn't play it on one platform, but on the other platform you could.
See,
so it adds a little bit of different change to it.
For me with that too, it becomes that like it helps me to diversify like what kind of content I really wanted to take and record from, because it's like Diablo. When that's not a game I really care to like. I'm not gonna make no second content off of play the game. So with that, I can play YouTube because I don't have to go worry about it. But if I know I'm gonna make a reel, or I'm gonna
you're mindful of what you're.
If I mindfully know, like I might take something out of this piece of content. It's like, let me play the Epidemic playlist.
Yes,
so
smart.
I know if I go back and do something with it, I don't have to worry.
Nice.
About,
it's smart. There's I like that the fact that you brought up the whole research before you started streaming. So before you started streaming, like where did in your point in your life where like, I want to be a content creator, I want to start streaming? Can you remember the point? I know you were talking about during the pandemic. That was kind of like what kind of sparked that interest? That was just lining that up for me. That was the stars aligning. It's always been a thing to want to be, but it really started back in. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Marvel Heroes Omega. It was an action RPG that came out a couple years ago, and I had a homie who started streaming. He just would push the button on like his Xbox and he started streaming. Then he slowly transitioned it. But I saw the growth, and I like meeting people from all over. Yeah.
Like fuck my city, but I
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no, yeah. That's how I am.
everywhere else.
Here I
Like,
am in fucking.
I'd rather be
I'm here in
Buffalo.
Atlanta, Georgia, from
Yeah.
El Paso, Texas, bro.
Exactly.
So I know I feel you, man.
You know, I like meeting people from all over, but also that have and hold the same interests.
Yes, well said.
So when it came to that, I'm like, he's meeting all these people, and then he was like, the other thing for me was always, I want to make some kind of money to play the video game.
Yeah,
I'm too good at this shit. I love it too much, and you can literally get paid on this planet to do literally anything. Somebody gets paid to put the freaking pillowcases on pillows. You know
no
what I'm
shit.
saying?
Yeah,
Like, it's like you get paid for everything. So why I can't get paid to play the game some
Yeah.
kind of way? Whether
yeah.
playing it, making
It does.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So at that point, this was like 2014, man. So at that point, it was like, okay, but things didn't line up right and everything like that. So when I finally met the Queen in 2017, and we really got to discussing goals outside of gaming and streaming, I also want to do similar like what Reef does, but I like embroidery. So messing around on clothes and things like that. But it was that pandemic and her and them stimulus checks are what really kind of like pushed the button on it.
Yeah.
The thought was always there, but it was like, all right, if you don't do it now, it's no telling when you're gonna.
Yeah.
So do it now. And even then, I had the PC for like a whole year before I ended up streaming anyway.
Really?
Yeah, because I had that. In the process of getting that, my son was born. And we were trying to
Life
move.
was happening. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. And then when we finally got to our house and got settled and then everything was, taken care of from that end, it was like
It was able, yeah.
Slowly.
I know. We were just talking a little bit. Like I used to travel as an IT guy, and I would be gone for weeks at a time. And I started doing unboxings and reviews, but I was always tired though. I was always tired, and I wanted to pursue it because there was one YouTuber that I used to watch. His name is Alpha Gaming, and now he goes by Senpai, and he would do reviews for streaming. And I started getting into streaming. I was like, all right, pandemic hit. I lost my job. There was no more traveling. So I lost my job. I was at home for like 7 months. And I was like, well, fuck. I guess I'll do this now. I bought I was playing on my Xbox on Mixer. And then I was like, you know what? I see myself doing this. And I'm in the position to do it now. So I bought a PC. I started buying all this stuff. I did the research because I already had my IT background. So I was like, all right, I can figure this shit out. It was just the money. You know what I mean? And I was on unemployment. It was more than I was needing. Bless my wife was already working. So we're okay. I was able to just pull a little bit of money and start doing it. And she thought I was crazy, but like she saw that I was passionate about it and the way I was going about it. Then I started getting the support from her because she didn't understand. It was something that I wanted to do and she didn't understand. And it was a back and forth. And once she saw that I was serious about it and I was investing my time, and it took me a while to balance the family work, being okay knowing that that might not be as fast as I would think it would be, but it helped me as far as the journey because you pretty much were like, hey, I could do it, but you planned it out to make sure once you went in, you were able to do it.
Yeah, man, I'm thorough in that way. When I'm like passionate about something, I got to do the research and plan out because I don't like
half-assing it. Yeah.
And I feel like that's like it being that way is a gift and a curse because it limits me because at the same time it's like I'm not gonna execute until I know it's perfect, but sometimes you need to execute before you know it is and just build it back up or go back and troubleshoot, do whatever you got to do before then. Which was with streaming was a lot of that. Like I didn't have no direction when I first did. That was when you first start streaming, and I tell anybody this, the hardest thing you're probably gonna go through is what are you gonna stream?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna think you just want to pick up this one game and stream? I play too many games. I was just gonna stick with one. So at the time, it was like, man, what's coming out? And I think Cyberpunk had just came out like the year before, so I bought Cyberpunk, and that was my first stream game, man. Was Cyberpunk 2077. Every time I tell people that, they're like, "What? I never would have thought." But Cyberpunk was the first game, and even then, if I could go back and do something else, I would have probably played something else. Cause like jumping right into a story game, the first stream was kind of like,
you have no following. Nobody's gonna really keep up with
that. You have no following. You have, I of course didn't have any sense of video editing, so it's not like I could go back and do anything. I would literally just hit the button, play the game for a little bit, done.
Yeah.
Try it again. tomorrow. And then
Yeah.
as I've grown and started meeting people, that was my other big thing. It's like, this ain't a journey you can really take by yourself.
Yeah.
You got to put together some group of people or something that have around you that, you know, you can bounce ideas or get tips from and everything. And even trying to progress into that point was nerve-wracking, man. Meeting like Fox was probably one of the first people that I've really like tapped in with, because I used to he was one of the people, his background, his eyes, I saw that and I'm like, I like this dude, we like the same stuff. And then we ended up, you know, the Back for Blood tournament came out, and that's how we really got acquainted there. So
that's cool. That I like how you said that, because it's true. Like, and you have to have the right type of people, not only in your inner circle, but the way you associate yourself with certain type of people. Because one thing that I started, like, if I can see the person past the content, then that's what gravitates me more toward them, because I'm more about getting to know the person rather than you just being a badass at a game. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how many times, like, when there'd be times, you know, all of our schedules change, but there'd be sometimes you'd be on late and I would just jump on and I'd just be chilling, watching you play a game, and we just have a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I've always enjoyed, you know, getting to know people because of that. Because, you know, we cross paths with a lot of different people, and, you know, we all are acquaintances in a good way. But sometimes, like, the people that I genuinely like, I try to go out of my way to make sure that I start getting to know them, and then you feel that back and forth. Absolutely. If there's not that back and forth, then, you know, like, hey, as much as you'd want to get to know them, they don't want to get to know you, and it's something personal.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think a lot of people take that personal.
That and with what we do, there's also that relationship with, you're a cool dude, but we just can't make we can't make content together.
Well said.
You're a very cool person. I have nothing against you.
Yeah.
But when it comes to playing this game over this internet in this Discord chat, we don't click.
Yeah.
Outside of that, hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people take that personally. Because one of my first experience, and I've said this before, like, I was playing with some other streamers like 2 years ago, Warzone, and I'm okay. You know, I ain't getting 10 kills. You know, I ain't running up the score, but I'm like a supporter guy. I'm pinging and doing shit like that. And then one guy, you know, just like, hey, you got to keep up. Hey, you got to do this. I was like, hey, man, I crashed a helicopter, and I laughed, and I clipped it.
But he took that serious.
Yeah, he was like, come on, bro, we got to push. And that's when in my mind I was like, okay, I'm cool with this guy and everything, but we just can't stream. The vibe's not the same, because I respect what he's doing, and I don't want to, you know, be like, fuck, you're too much of a sweat. It's more of me, like, not understanding that I'm not a sweat and being okay just stepping back and just like, these guys are cool as fuck and we all support each other, but we can't play games when it comes to that.
I 100%
and it's okay.
feel that.
And it's okay. And a lot of people take that personally. Like, one time I told the guy, hey, man, my bad. He's like, nah, man, I know you're better than that. I was like, yeah, but I just realized that I'm not trying as hard as I could, and I don't want to. And I'm just being honest with myself. Yeah, and they're like, all right, cool.
Outside of entertainment, we're businesses. So
exactly.
Like, if you got to entertain it with, and that's why I love my circle now and the people I've connected with, because if that would have happened with playing with anybody we playing with right now, we would have been cracking up. Yeah. We would have been talking, just, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Helicopter, man, what's going on? All right, run it back. Come on.
Do it
again.
Exactly.
You're not flying no more. It would have been one of those moments that's supposed to,
man, this fool's fucking up.
Like, bro, come on, man.
Get it together, man. We're over here.
Anything but that.
Yeah.
It's, we still got to entertain.
Yeah.
And I've learned between my community and a lot of other communities we in, they don't really care if we sweats. They just want to see a good time.
It depends, like, how you go about it, because a lot of people don't understand that, yeah, we play a game, but we might not best of it. But there's some people that do excel and do well playing one game because they're known for that.
Right.
I'm not going to take the time to just, that's not me. Like, it took me about almost a year and a half, almost 2 years into creating content, being comfortable for what I bring to the table. And once you see people starting to do that, I think that's when people start getting along more, because everybody's in their own bag, doing what they bring, what they don't bring, and they're comfortable doing what they're doing and not doing. And you can start seeing people, hey, Knox, I see you doing all that shit. I cannot play with you. We might not click, but I see you, man. I respect you, and I support you, and it's okay.
100% okay,
right,
man. I've had some slight issues with that before, where people thought it was just like you dodging me. It's like, man, it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's all love. It's just we don't vibe with that game. Let's try a different game.
Yeah.
Let's try a different game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just being honest, right? Just a little bit more honest. A lot of people like might take it personally, but it's and that goes toward the getting to know somebody past the game.
True. That's very true, because I've gotten to that point where, like, in my circle, I know, like, if it's like Remnant is a perfect example. We were talking about Remnant and Remnant from the Ashes. I know I ain't getting Fox to come back and play that. He tried it once. I heard the story behind it. I won't even ask him, like, bro, come play this game. But Major be with the shit. So it's like, all right, I know what to attack on each person.
Yeah.
If I go to Major and he ain't played this game before, and it looked like something, I know if it's gonna look like something he want to play, we with it. But with Fox, if I go to Fox and be like, hey, this VR game look dope, bro, we should try it. He gonna go do the research.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you gotta know what
your people, right?
Know your
the people that you mess with when it comes to
So you know before you even ask and set yourself up for that point where you like, damn, it's like that. It's like, nah, bro.
I'm glad you brought that point up, because I was talking to Tetsu's Temple earlier, aka Unfortunate from before. We talk and we have a whole podcast series that we did together, and it's funny because we laugh because a lot of the games that we all play, I don't play any games that he plays, and he doesn't play any games that I play, but we're still cool. We don't have to coach him and play games together to do content together or have a friendship. A lot, you got to look past the games and shit like that, because now when it comes to certain games, you know who to hit up.
Exactly.
Because it makes sense.
Exactly.
And you know why? Because you got to know the person.
And I know what I'm getting.
Exactly.
It's also been times where back when, like, last year when No Build first came out, and we were on that run of No Build when we were playing with everybody, playing with this person this night, tomorrow we playing with this person this night. And with me, I'm a shit talker. We get in the game. We ain't never played a game before. I guarantee you, if we get in a game right now, it's like, oh, Dukes, what the fuck? Dukes, get your ass over here. I'm gonna be talking all kinds of shit. That's what I bring.
But that's what it's like a friendly.
It is. Exactly. I'm never like, oh, you're bad. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
It's always just that's my icebreaker. I guess saying is talking shit, because I want you to talk shit. I want you to talk shit.
You were talking about earlier. It's the entertainment value side of it too. You gotta. It's funny because my wife always like, I know you, but when you're on the camera and things, like, you yourself a little bit. I was like, but you gotta be entertaining.
I get that same thing. I get the same exact thing.
You gotta be entertaining.
You're so quiet, but when you get on the camera and with your friends, you're so loud and energetic and everything. I'm like,
my wife is like. It is a switch. It is a switch. But you have to understand, like, and I think, and I'm still getting to know you, but we're still ourselves, just umped a little bit.
Absolutely.
Just umped a little bit, because I ain't that wild out type of person, but I will fucking laugh. I'll do shit like that and make it funny. But you got to make it entertaining to a certain extent, because my wife is like, I know you, but Jimmy Dukes is somebody else. I'm like, well, yeah, Jimmy Dukes is like the side of just. My name is Jaime. I was like, it's Jimmy Dukes is my side of my other side. I'm a father side. I got my kid side, my career side, and shit like that. Yeah. But when I'm creating content, you get Jimmy Dukes. You know what I mean? My little ass up in there laughing and flexing and having a good time. You know what I mean? Because it's fun. It's fun. You got to make it fun. It's very fun. You're talking about meeting your girl and the researching and being a content creator. How long have you been creating content for now?
It was exactly 2 years, March 13th of this year. So
okay,
about
almost 2.5 years.
About 2.5 years. And I as much as everybody be like, man, you be killing, I still feel like I ain't shit.
Yeah,
so I'm always
I think having that humbleness of just knowing that I ain't shit. Because I always compare myself, like, I always tell people I'm a big fight fan. I'm a big MMA fan and shit like that. But, like, that fool's killing it. He's killing it. He's going to be a champ. I'm like, all right, he's number 20. Now look at number 1. Is he that close? No, okay, never mind. So I ain't shit. You could tell me how great I am every day, but I don't feel like I am. But that's kind of a good thing. Like, yeah, you want to receive the flowers and the pat on the back, but it's always going forward. So going forward, like, you're already at 2.5 years, like, an ideal, one shot knocks fucking life. Like, where do you see yourself in the next year doing content creation? Do you see yourself doing a little bit more, just consistently being like, what you still doing your thing? Or
I feel myself getting locking down into it more. When I first started, I wasn't working as much, so I had a lot more time to. I wasn't working at all, so I had time to just dump hours in, and it was a gift and a curse because I would dump these ridiculous amount of hours into the stream, but at the time I didn't really have the following. Whereas now it's exactly opposite. I'm usually probably gonna give you like 3 hours and be up.
Yep.
Because unless it's a good game, a lot of factors go into that. The queen do hair, but I like to make myself open for her, so I'm not playing the game or stream all the time. So
It's a
like,
balancing
if
thing.
she's doing hair, that'll usually be a time like, all right, well, she busy, I'm gonna go ahead and boot up a stream. Or if she goes to sleep, or not even go to sleep, or if we just doing something, we ain't got nothing planned. We're very big on movies and TV. So like whatever the latest shit is, we usually watching it. So like if we get to that point and she passed out, it's like, all right, maybe I'll boot up a stream.
Yeah.
But in the next year, honestly, just more. I have a 9 to 5 as well, but I want this to be my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I wake up every day at work, and I always look at myself because we're bosses. I always look at myself, I'm like, man, I wake up every day to do work for somebody else when this same amount of work could go into my editing.
Yeah.
I would love to be a part of the early stream community. Just because if I had my ideal, you said my ideal would be a half and half. I would do 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours at night, and in between that day, and it's editing.
Yeah.
Family stuff, everything else I need, store runs, whatever I need to get done. But in between them 4 hours in the morning and then 4 hours at night, that's my 8 hours of the day, and we could put it together like that because I'm learning and loving it more and more. It's just with time.
Yeah, of course.
So much content. Like currently, I'm playing Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins, and I have like 20. When I get back home, I got like 20 plus vids to edit and drop on that, man. And it's just like, but I gotta go back home and get ready to go back to work, and it's like, so I gotta put it off another day, and then I'm probably gonna stream, and it creates that point. So it's like work gets in the way of, I always tell people that this is my job, and 9 to 5 is the side job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because I talked to shout out to No Sense. I talked to him on a podcast, and he's like, he talked about what his family does and what he does. He's like, that's my sponsor for this, for my dancing and my streaming. And I was like, no shit. Like, cause I've always, when I had a good paying job, and pandemic hit people in a lot of different ways, and for me at that time, being at home, and even though I was like, I felt defeated, I felt like I wasn't making money, and streaming helped me and content creating helped me, but just being at home made me realize how important it was to be at home with my wife, with my kids. And then I was like, you know what? My IT degree will always pay my bills. Eventually, doing this kind of stuff and meeting people and doing content, hopefully it can pay my bills eventually. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I ain't stupid. I got to have my job. I got to do this. I got to do that. And a lot of people don't realize that the people that are full-time and doing it and paying their bills, I respect the fuck out of it because that is hard. It's hard to pay your bills and just being a full-time content creator. So you got to have to be in the position to do that because I've always said, anybody could be a full-time streamer, but are you making a living and doing it?
Is that the goal as well, though? Are you just full-time getting on and just streaming and being done?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Are you planning on making, secondhand content? Are you, planning? Because everybody don't, have any aspirations to get paid. They just probably and
that's one cool thing. I'm glad you brought that up because that was one thing I did notice after some time and just, being aware of what's going on with the space. It just like everybody streams or creates content for a different reason. It's not always about money. And when I saw that and I was like, that's true. That's me. Like I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it. Hopefully it could lead to that, but I'm enjoying it doing it. And I look forward to doing it out. And I'm hoping that everything I keep doing, I don't get burned out on it or don't look forward to looking to it. Because you're right. I look forward to doing this, but I got to do this to be able to hopefully eventually do this. You know what I mean?
Exactly. For me, it's all of that, man. Doing it to get to that point, but also leaving with YouTube and how great it is as a library. For me, the other thing goes into leaving an archive. Like when we die, all we ever really have is memories and pictures. For them, I want my great grandkids and everybody else to come along and be like, let me go take a look at,
That's so dope that you say that.
Let me go take a look.
That's so cool that you say that.
Today I can watch a video and he has 50,000 plus videos in here. So by the time we get through them,
You get to know your
gonna be about dead. You know? But I want that. So that outside of potentially making money out of it and everything like that is just like that.
It's cool that you say the little legacy.
Building.
Yeah.
So like even if something happened, I wasn't here. Somebody can go look tomorrow and still check out.
It's cool, yeah. Like I have an older son, he's 7, and he just thinks it's the dopest thing that his dad's a streamer, and I'm like, I ain't big as you think I am forever, like, but they love watching the videos, and I've been more mindful with my content, like with cussing and things like that, because my kids watch me, and it's cool. They get to see that side of me and see me strive and push in a different way. So it's also cool because they get to see me in that aspect, but at the same time, they see I'm pushing toward a goal. You know what I mean? So they get to see that. But the whole archive thing, it's cool because I have videos from my YouTube on another channel from me just being stupid from 12 years ago. And I look back at it, I'm like, that's so cool. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it creates that. So you'll always be around.
Yeah.
Regardless of if anything happens or, something unfortunate happens, you always got that to fall back on. But at the same time, it's just, I'm challenging myself, honestly, to see how many different games I can put on that.
Nice.
Because I've played a lot of games, and one of the things I was like, man, if I can go back and like every single game I've played on, on YouTube, just for my like thing, so I can go back and be like, all right, we played this, we played
this.
It's cool just to, challenge yourself a little bit as well in this space. Don't let everything else challenge you without challenging yourself first. Like give yourself a little, something that's gonna get you to thinking and want to push and pursue that a little bit, So that was one of them. It's like, let me go back and, try a couple of the older games. So I did a lot of research in the emulators because when the new games slow down, hopefully at some point,
yeah. Yeah, no shit, dog.
When they slow down and we finally get a backlog season and I can pull up an emulator and go back and play I want to go back and play like the old school Twisted Metal.
Nice.
Like
hey, that's dope.
Stuff that was out that we didn't have streaming at the time. So a lot of people even then won't even see this game.
Mm-hmm. So and they know about it because of you all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I played this as a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had perfect example. It's been about a month now, but I went back and I love one of my favorite games is Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Okay.
On the came out on the 360, and so I went back and found it on the computer. Found these group of guys that mods the mess out of that game and went and put mods in it. And
nice.
Started playing it. I was trying to do like a throwback Thursday, flashback Friday kind of deal. I've been so inconsistent with stuff.
At least you're very honest.
It's
coming. It's coming.
But I booted it up one time and literally haven't done it. But I hate not finishing games.
Yeah.
I got to go back and finish it at some point. But just the reaction from that when I only played it for 3 hours. But man, the people were coming in like, oh my God, you're playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like, man, I haven't seen this game forever. Like, got a couple
that's dope.
People like, this is Marvel. Oh my God, Ultimate Alliance. So. I always say with content creation, we're no different than an artist, a musician, anything like that. They all have to create, what they're doing. We have to do the same thing, but they all also have to create something that makes it, with art, your art style, or however you're going to paint, draw, whatever you're going to do, music, whatever you're going to compose, what instruments you're going to use. We're the same way. What game are we going to play? What are we going to talk about today? What's the topic? What are we going to do? What time are we going to do it? Because a lot of that people see on the outside of us just hitting live and playing the game. But you're a planner, an engineer, everything, man. You have to go into that thing with somewhat of a plan. Like it's almost impossible not to have a little bit of a plan, even if it's nothing major, I want to be the #1 streamer. Even if you just don't have a general idea, your mind will explode, man. There's so much stuff we think about with this. So much stuff. Like from timing. I what I struggle with the most is, and Noxie always asks me, like, you're not streaming today. I'm bad with, after a certain amount of time, it's probably, if it gets about 9:30 and ain't nobody saying nothing to me, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to stream because it's already too late. My energy done slowly dwindled. So it's like, nah, I'll get to it tomorrow. But then something else will happen. Like, you're not streaming today? Like, nah. But if I get, like, right off work and go and make sure everything's straight and, like, because I work from home, so if I like rotate my chair and get right off work and get into it, and my energy's high, I can usually run it for a couple hours and be fine. I can be done, and I'm content with that. But I hate when I'm like that, man.
You know, because it's cool. It's cool because a lot of people, and we see it all the time. People just stream just to stream, and it's not the same. Like one thing I started doing more is like I shorten my streams, like 2 hours minimum, 3 hours max, that I could feel like I'm in a good groove, keeping track of chat going on, being entertaining, keeping up with what's going on, talking to whoever I'm playing with. Because after a while, like you're just doing it just to do it, and the energy level might not be there. Because I've seen people just go live just to go live, and I get it. You know, maybe it's more casual, whatever. But for me, I felt like when I'm ready to go live, I let everybody know, and then I do it because I know it's gonna be good, and I don't want to force myself just to do it. Because I work from home as well, so like when I get out from work, my energy level is right there. So I'll play like an hour or two with my son on Fortnite or whatever, Monday through Friday or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's there, and I don't do a night stream. Like, because by that time I start at work at 5 o'clock in the morning. So at 1 o'clock, I'm getting out of work. I stream a little bit. Toward the end of the night, I ain't trying to stream just to stream. You know what I mean? It's not the same. So, you know, you have your ideal like of you going to this and doing that. And now that you've been doing it for 2.5 years, like what are some of the things that you can tell somebody who wants to get in the space now that you would recommend or not recommend? Like some advice or tips that you would say to people coming up right now in this space?
That's a great question. Number one, know what you want to do. Don't just say I want to stream. Know what are we streaming? When are we streaming? Who are we streaming to? What is your demographic? What is know what you want to do. Don't just say, I'm gonna just streaming looks fun. I'm gonna boot up stream. Are you gonna be a variety streamer? Are you gonna be a Fortnite streamer, Call of Duty streamer? Shoot, are you gonna be a hot tub and bikini streamer? You know what you want to do, so you don't get so caught up in trying to figure that out while you have the opportunity present to you. Like, just know what you want to do. Also, do your research on the platforms. Go take a look at live. Go type whatever you would stream into the search bar on your platforms and see how they're doing. See what you can take from that, and put that together. Also, learn some kind of editor. If that's one thing I would have killed to know back when I started was editing, and I had to go download DaVinci Resolve and learn that shit myself. And I was so late, and I'm like, man, how much content did I miss out on? Like, good edits, because I really wasn't editing because I wasn't even aware of it. So go learn CapCut, DaVinci, any of that. Also, and this one is kind of like you don't have to, but get a Stream Deck. If you don't have a Stream Deck, ain't streaming for me, because trying to go between multiple scenes with the mouse when I can just push it on a button, trying to sound effects, just get a Stream Deck.
Right.
Even if you get the what is
the
it,
smallest
the
one, the 6 one,
whatever 6 one.
Yeah.
Just get you a Stream Deck. What's that 4? Like it's the number one I would say is just have your plan, and then you don't have to have a super expensive setup to stream. You don't. You could go spend $1,000 and have a decent enough setup to stream, or even if you started off a console. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to. If you don't have the top of the line this, top of the line that, you can't do it. I started with I went and dished out a bag for mine, but I didn't have everything I need. Like over time, I slowly upgraded my RAM, upgraded my mic, upgraded the monitor. So it's really of give what you can, and then upgrade it from there.
Yeah.
But those would be like the most important, I would say.
Yeah. I was like talking and asking people those questions because everybody, a lot of sometimes it's similarity, but sometimes you'll start hearing certain things that you don't think about. Because even though I knew I had an editing background because I would edit stuff before, I never took the time to edit anything because I just wasn't on my radar because nobody told me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So when I always ask every guest that I have on, what would you do with this and things like that. So if people are coming up, you're more informed of what's going on. If you do want to pursue this in any avenue, in any way you want, if you want to be able to be successful or want to do certain things, hey, look into this, look into that. I'm glad you talked about the research thing, and that's dope, man.
The other failure is not the end. You're gonna fail a lot. You're gonna set hard expectations for yourself in the beginning of, man, I want to have this many followers by this time, and we're in a profession that it's unpredictable. People
Yeah.
are very unpredictable. You'll say you want to have 200-300 followers in a certain amount of time, but
Yeah.
and that whole time between that time, as you said, you get 1 or 2 followers. Now
Yeah.
you're discouraged.
I always tell people make goals that you have a handle. Like one thing I always tell people, like I always see this, and it is what it is, and people see that. I want 1,000 people by the end of the year, and I always like I make my goals based on what I can control. So what I always said, I was like, I want to have 50 podcasts by the end of this year. I can control that. I want to do this because I control. I don't like my goals are more realistic with myself and my content rather than it hoping that other people fill my goal. You know what I mean? Like I have to depend on I have to rely on people showing up to my streams to get to 1,000 people, and things like that. I was like, what can I do? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a reel every day. I'm gonna do an unboxing once a month. That's something that I can control and do. And by doing those things, you grow in your own way. Instead of worrying about by the end of the year I want to be verified. By the end of the year I want 1,000 followers. I want 50 likes on this stream. Like having to depend on other people to fill your goals, in my opinion, is like it's a slippery slope because you could fail right away and you're gonna get discouraged.
Yeah, and don't pay attention too much to the numbers.
Yeah, man.
I shout out to Kick because Kick is doing some consistent numbers for me. But man, when I first started, I had 1, 2 people.
Yeah,
big donut gang.
Yeah,
like, but I'm good with talking to myself. So
that's good. A lot of people. It's funny because a lot of people don't feel comfortable having a conversation with themselves. It's not really having a conversation. It's more like saying what you're doing and like, oh, I like this gun because of this. If you do this attachment, whatever. Oh, if you use this character and you do this, you're talking. And if somebody's watching or not chatting, at least there's a conversation and things are going on, man. Yeah.
So I'm very good in talking to the game, like even when the characters in the game.
Yeah, what you doing, dog?
Like they say, where you going? Why are you worried about what's going? Like, you talk junk to the game. Like get comfortable with people not being in and having to talk to yourself. Yeah. If you don't, then you don't want dead air, as they say.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to that, especially if you're running a game that doesn't have like very dramatic music in the background that can kind of like take the ambiance away. You want to be able to keep some noise going all the time because they're airing the stream, especially if you go back and watch it. You like, man, it's so quiet right here.
Yeah.
It's just,
and that's the thing with just getting better with time. That's what is getting better with time is like always. I like how you say you look back. A lot of people don't look back. I look back on my streams all the time. Like, fuck, that alert was way too high. I need to go change that. You know what? My mic or the music was too low. Like you have to go back and self-evaluate what's going on. You know what I mean? You're more mindful of what you're doing because you're always, how you're saying, you got to be a director, you got to be a producer, you got to be an engineer. You got to be everything because I always pride myself in telling people I'm a one-man army. I control all my platforms. I make all my reels. I make all my content. I record all my shit. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I can say and then I do that, and balancing my life, my kids, my wife. It can be done. It can be done. But I'm realistic with my growth, realistic with this career path. I know that I'm not going to make money, but hopefully in time, by just me enjoying the process and the journey and the people I talk to and doing all this will lead to that eventually. But I enjoy doing it.
Exactly.
I enjoy doing it. I really do.
Enjoy it, even if it's nothing else. It's just a really great hobby.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why hobbies end up paying your bills sometimes for some people, man. They lead to, like, especially if you're passionate about it and realistic and doing whatever you want to do to get in that space. Because I tell people all the time, like, they quit streaming after 3 years. Or like, you know how long the big heads have been streaming for before they got their flowers and money? 10 years, 7 years, 8 years. So when I heard Stone say, man, I didn't start making money on YouTube until it was 8 years in. Dude, I'm only 3.5 years in. And he's like, I wasn't even doing half of the stuff a lot of people are doing. So in my head, the blueprint is out there. You just have to keep doing it. And if you can't keep up with that, then, that it might not go the way you want. But the blueprint is there.
Absolutely.
You have to do everything. You have to do everything and consistently and quality to survive in this game if you want to make this a career path and financially, because a lot of people just do it as a hobbyist and it's cool. I know a lot of streamers that are hobbyists and they're dope as cool people. They don't make reels. They don't do that, but they're not bitching about numbers either. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
it's whatever. It's like, you want to be the best race car driver? Well, you got to start winning races. You know what I mean? Do you just like racing just to race? Cool.
Touche.
Yeah, you're.
Touche, brother.
Hell yeah, man.
Because it's a fun journey, and if you thoroughly enjoy it, my dad always used to tell me, if you enjoy what you do, it's never work.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with content creation. It's just it's fun and it's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's fun and challenging, so that keeps you on your toes, but you also enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
If you're doing it the right way, you enjoy the people you meet. The people I've met put me here in Atlanta right now. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for content creation. Like, of course, visiting Atlanta, but I'm a whole meetup to meet other content creators. Like, you don't get no better than
it's
that.
Dope, man. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. So, I appreciate the conversation, coming up here and chopping it up, man. I know we crossed paths through, other people, but I've been, steadily following your growth and what you got going on. And I appreciate, man. Like, you inspired me in different ways. And I've told you, man, it's cool that having that bounce back and forth with the right type of people. You know what I mean? We might not be the best of friends, but we say what's up. I see you doing your thing, and that's what's up.
I recognize the vibe, man. Yeah. Especially when we were already on each other's radar because we play video games.
Yeah.
It's always a green flag for me.
Yeah.
You play the game? Like,
yeah. You have that, and that's one of the best things. We all have that one first thing in common, and then after that, you start finding out, when you get to know a person, all the different things that you have in common, man.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, dude. That's dope, man. I appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah, man. Y'all make sure you go check out my boy. He's on the different platforms. All the descriptions will be down below. We're at the ATL meetup. We're talking to different people, man. I hope you guys are enjoying these conversations, man. Until next time, my boy.
Shot Knox. Gaming is life. Life is gaming. Y'all know what it is.
Let's go. Y'all, until next time. Peace out, homies. What up, y'all? It's your boy Jimmy Dukes with another meetup conversation with another content creator. Right now, we have the homie LJ. What's up, dude? Can you say your name? Because I want to try to say it, but I don't want to fuck it up. Okay. I'll just be honest with you.
Legarius Games is the name.
Nah, Legarius.
That's a lot of people
that's like probably the dopest name I've ever heard in my life, dude.
That's
it's so cool. It sounds legendary to me.
It is dope. My sister actually named me my first name.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty dope.
I have a younger son, and I liked Alexander because it was like Alexander, but I made it with a Z to make it stand out.
Okay.
So I call him Alexander. Xander the Great. You know what I mean? Because Alexander means great.
That's
so
what's
Xander the Great. So when I saw your name for the first time, I was like, that sounds fucking like dope as shit.
It sounds powerful. It sounds strong.
Exactly.
I like it. I like it too.
Yeah,
I like
cool,
it too.
Man. But I appreciate you coming on, man.
For sure. This was a long time coming.
Yeah, we were chit-chatting a little bit last night, and I said, did we have this conversation? You're like, yeah. And I'm honest too. As I start to get to know people, I forget little things, but I try to keep up with everybody because there's so many of us.
It's a lot.
You know what I mean? When you said where you lived, I was like, did we have this conversation?
Yeah, we did. We did.
And you're like, yeah. I was like, oh, we did.
It's cool. But there's a lot of people that I even didn't, know, and they introduced themselves to me, and it's a lot more people now than before. It's just growing more and more.
I think, it's cool because we're starting to meet people, and we all become acquaintances in school and things like that, and then we build friendships off of that. Yeah, because we all have this in common. Not only we have this in common, you live near where I live too. I don't want where you live or anything, but it's like I was like, hey, that fool lives in the same part of the country that I do. I had no idea. So I was like, oh, we even have that more in common now. You know what I mean?
And it was, I think, a picture that you took and posted on, I think, a reel or something. And you were, where you were. And I was like, yo. And I was, that's how I figured out where we were. And I was, I went to the stream that kind of prompted me into whenever I see your stream, I try to catch you while you're live. Because a lot of times, you'll see it come down your timeline and it's not live, but tried to make sure I caught you while you were live.
Yeah.
Just chatted up a little bit, and it was dope. It was just
cool.
a great experience.
I think that and I've been saying it on and off with different people, is like certain things have you gravitate toward a certain person.
Facts.
Only because we live in the same part of the country. I'm like, I like this guy automatically.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I think it might have been like MMA, but you were also playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy watching people. And it's not even about the game, because I've watched people be very good at Fortnite and be very, very bad. But it's about how you keep the people engaged in the conversation, within. And you were, very engaged with your viewers.
I appreciate it. Man. I try.
Chatting it up.
Yeah, man. I think, and I've said it many times on other podcasts and conversations, it's like, I feel as a content creator, people gravitate toward you, not what you're playing.
Yeah. 100%,
you know what I mean?
100%.
So a lot of people start seeing your conversations, your thought process, how you carry yourself, certain things you talk about. People gravitate toward that. And like, when I found you, because we were talking a little bit, like you were playing Overwatch, and I can't remember who or whatever without name dropping. I don't want to fuck it up, but I came across your shit and I was like, oh, Legarius, that sounds so dope and shit like that. And then you were playing Overwatch, and at that time I just started playing, and I saw that you were a healer. And you're like, yeah, that's my shit. And I'm like, I'm a healer because I suck at everything else. Bro, but you were talking about, you're so good.
Bro, nah, it's
so cool seeing somebody good at that position, because not a lot of people play that.
So, and that's part of the reason also why I was playing that role, is because since not a lot of people play it, you get into games quicker, so you can play more games. So I was like, in order for me, because I was coming into Overwatch 2, like it was, it was just brand new, because I never played 1, and whenever I watched, try to watch, people play the game, I really didn't understand what was going on. But I was like, it's free. I'm gonna try it. If I don't like it, I can just, uninstall it or whatever. But I started playing healer, and they give you games just back to back to back to back. And I started having people come into my stream that are also good.
They're like, hey, we see you doing your thing, and you're a content creator. Hey.
Yes. But people that are good at the game, and then they know that I'm competitive, so they like try to push me to be better. Nice. That's where it changed for me, because then it became like, okay, how good can I be?
Really good at this game.
Yes. So it just takes reps. It's one of those games.
That's cool, man. Yeah. So we're talking about your name, and you play Overwatch. Like, how did you grow up playing video games? Was that like part of your childhood?
Yes.
Playing games and stuff. Like, what was your first console? And what was the first game that you remember playing? You're like, oh, cool, I like video games.
I would say it would be Super Nintendo. That wasn't my first console, but that was kind of like the family console.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Mario games. It was Super Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't good. I would cry when I lost, and my mom would have to help me beat certain levels.
Yeah.
But it was then, and then, being at a young age and seeing people around you get into certain other things that aren't good, and it turned out bad, games help you not have to deal with that. You're inside, you're kind of doing your own thing. And you can meet people, but you can also do things outside that'll get you engaged, in the community without doing those other activities.
Yeah, of course.
But games, it was prevalent when I was very young.
Right.
Very young. I was very competitive at a very young age, and I've always loved games and spent a lot of time playing video games.
That's cool. So I remember, like, one thing I remember my parents wouldn't understand. I got a Sega, and I was playing Sonic, and I started playing different games, and I remember one time, and I've told this story before. I had the original Xbox, the big ass one like
big black box.
Yeah.
Brick.
That big ass thing. I was playing Madden, I think 97, and Vic was on the cover.
I remember that.
And I was playing the fuck out of Madden online, and then people were just like taking advantage of him rolling out and running
so fast,
or throwing it, right? And I broke a controller, and then I realized that I needed to stop being competitive, because at that time I would get so upset. It gets so upset.
It is definitely
you know what I mean? To be a competitive gamer, you have to
it's a little different.
Have your emotions in check, because you can show emotion and get upset, but if you're raging and pissed off, it's not good if you genuinely want to get better.
Yes.
Right?
100%. So I've broken plenty of controllers. Plenty. It's been years though. Like now, I've grown.
That costs money.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, bro. When you gotta pay for your own controllers, like, all right, these really not cheap. And if you want to be good at the game, you kind of want a, slightly better controller.
Yeah.
But just breaking those, nah, I'm not trying to pay for that like that. Nah. So, we gotta figure out another way.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get that under check.
Yeah.
I want to get better, but I can't be just breaking shit.
Yeah, 100%. So I just yell. I just yell at my teammates. So I yell at the chat, and then they yell back, and it's not. They know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They know you. Yeah, your community and the people that get to know you know that.
It's all
you're
love.
pissed off, but it's all good.
It's all love.
Yeah.
It's all love.
So, you're talking about, being competitive and it's like, how did you come across streaming? Like, what was your first experience of streaming even being a thing, or you just deciding that I wanted to try it?
I actually think I was thinking about that the other day because I don't really know, but I think it was Ciabatta Mitch. I think he was the very first person that I saw like Facebook Live, because I've known about like Twitch streams, but I wasn't serious about like Twitch stream. But whenever it came to Facebook, I was like, this could be, huge. But I think it was Ciabatta Mitch. Watching him and what he does with streaming, and just, I don't even care about the game that he plays. It's just like watching him. That man, you know what I mean? He's super just entertaining. So once I saw, kind of what you can do playing the game, but without the game, like, okay, I could probably do this.
Yeah.
I could probably do this.
That's cool. Everybody comes across. I remember the first time I saw a stream, and obviously at that time, and this was like maybe 4 years ago. Ninja was really big. He got the Red Bull. He got his own streaming thing.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, these motherfuckers are paying him to play games. Like, what the fuck? And I was a gamer. I'm a gamer. But like seeing that as a thing, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. People pay people to play games, and then like I started getting interested in it.
Yeah.
And I saw I saw a lot of the 1% of the 1%. Those are the people that got me. But after I got introduced to it, I started finding people that they were maybe like 2 or 3 years in, or like and I started learning from them, and I was like, I think I could do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I started with Mixer just on my Xbox, and then I had a USB camera to my Xbox, and it would project. And then after I decided I really want to get into it, then I bought a PC.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? It's just
that.
like so you got it. You got into the space, and you're like, all right, fine. Like you saw Facebook as an opportunity, like, oh, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
And you just started.
Yeah, and what it was with Facebook is like, I know my family is on that platform, so they would get a chance to, kind of see me. Because downloading, other platforms, it's just tougher. Like, if you don't really care for games, then that's just not something you can expect people to do.
Well said.
But if you're already on that platform, and it did, it does allow for that. But once I saw it on there, that's what got me into, trying to get into this space. And then it was the God Squad that really kind of helped me get into that space, just meeting a lot of other people.
Yeah.
On a lower level that were, doing the same thing that I was trying to pursue.
That's cool. I like seeing that. And then, because I've been, I'm at 3 years now. In April was 3 years. And like every year, like I'm just meeting people and keeping in touch with the right type of people and bouncing each other ideas. And like these things like this is cool because we get to see each other and say what's up. And it's encouraging into seeing that all of us have that in common, and we get to see each other in person. Yeah. Because you get those positive vibes and that little energy from people, right?
It is. Every time like you see people, because you see it a lot, like you'll have it happen to you as well, to where you see someone that you've been talking to for a while, but you haven't seen them in person yet. And you'll see it happen to you beside you. And it's just like, this is what this is about. You know what I mean? Actually seeing people in person and chilling with them and vibing with them in person. But it's huge, bro. It's huge. It's huge for a lot of people.
Yeah. I like that. They last year was the first year I was like, all right, let me just go see what's
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna just try and come out. And
Same.
at that point in my content creation life, I was at a fork. I was like, all right, if I want to do this, I gotta start getting out of my comfort zone, meeting people, going to these kind of things. So last year opened my mind because hearing Trav talk or Shot by Buddha and hearing them, they've been doing for X amount of time and kind of just spitting game and pointing us in the right direction.
Yeah.
I was like, that helped me so much.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, I was like, man, I got to start networking and talking to the right type of people.
Yeah.
So this way, it's like I say it all the time, it's iron sharpen iron in different ways. We might not be the same, playing the same type of games or whatever, but just having conversations like this and talking, you learn from each other, and you get to know each other.
Yeah.
And you start building a friendship, and they could lead to just being an acquaintance.
Yeah. Yeah. And friends, bro. Like you get real actual friends from this. You know what I mean? Like you do engage with these people mostly online, but when it's a time like this, you can come together,
Yeah. And we all have that
always.
thing in common too. And then like you build relationships and friendships from that.
Yeah.
Because you have that one thing in common. I said all the time, man, like we're all acquaintances and we all be cool, but we don't all have to be friends either. But we can still be cool.
Yeah, you can be cordial.
You don't have to be up in my shit. I don't have to be in your shit. But it's nothing personal. Everybody's in their own lane doing their own things. But it's cool to say, hey, what's up, man? It's cool. I see you doing your thing and blah, blah, blah. So it's cool.
Yeah, that was one of my, I guess, detractors from coming to this. And one of the reasons why I chose to come, just kind of by myself that first time. And, like you said, just kind of scope the scene and see what was going on. But it was an immediate, like, comfortable feeling.
Yes.
Of, you're around your people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It just feels like it's just a feeling of, okay, I'm good here.
Yeah, it's cool.
And you'll see, other people making sure that everybody's good.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, it's a worthwhile thing to come to. I'm glad I came last year, and then this year I told myself, all right, this year I'm gonna make sure I go out of my way and just start talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Because last year I was really timid, and I would see people who they are, and I felt weird, kind of just walking up to them. And I'm a really sociable guy, but I just felt kind of weird.
Yeah.
Even though everybody was super nice and everybody's hanging out, I just didn't feel comfortable. But this year I was like, hey man, I'm a shoulder tap or talk to anybody that I see you doing your thing, man. I just want to conversate and get to know people, man, because we're all here for a reason. You might as well hang out. It's called the meetup for a reason, right?
No, exactly, bro. You come out here to do what you want to do, and I think very similar path. This year I'm a lot more trying to talk to the people that I want to talk to and go out of my way to talk to those people, because it'll probably be another year again until I see them. So
it's cool.
Now is the time.
Yeah, it's cool. Like
I mean?
the IRL, seeing somebody IRL, like having that bounce back in conversation, small or long or whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, it could be a simple hug.
Yeah. What's up, man?
That's it.
Yeah. That's dope, man. So with the whole, you've been, how long have you been content creating or streaming for?
I would say about 3 years.
Okay.
But before then, I was doing Twitch streams to go back and like watch film. It was sweaty, but what I mean. But our team would watch it as well, and we would go down and kind of. But that's when the streaming started, and then people would just come into my streams just because, and we would start talking about just random things, whatever they wanted to talk about. And I didn't really take it serious then at all. There was no cam or nothing. I was streaming straight from my console. So, the mic quality was poor. But it was cool to have that going on while I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until, like I said, Facebook dropped their thing, and I was like, okay, let's try this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I had some support to keep going. And what keeps it going is whenever I stop or I, want to take a little break, people are asking, they're like, hey, you good? Is everything all right? You know what I mean? So it's hard to stop when you got people that are looking for you, and waiting and really like liking what you do. And it really helps.
Yeah. That's a good motivation when you start. I talk about it all the time. Like all of us gotta appreciate that core community of people. I mean, we all there's people Yeah, people that come and go and,
Yeah.
and cruise by and say what's up. There's nothing wrong with that. But the people that are there, genuinely getting to know you, you
Yeah.
getting to know them, and for them to ask about you
Yeah.
goes past the
Yeah.
gaming,
Yeah.
past the content creation. Like, oh
100%.
damn, this fool generally, or this person generally like is worried.
Yes.
I'm just not streaming because I got shit going on, but they think something's happening.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like without
Yes.
even realizing it, you start, building relationships
Yes.
and
you affect people.
yeah, affect people like that. Like, are you okay? You haven't streamed in like a week. Oh, I just been busy. My bad. Oh, okay. We're just making sure you're cool.
100%.
Isn't that weird? And then it motivates you to get back into it.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, now I got to show my face and be like, hey, y'all, I'm good.
Yeah.
We can play some games, but I'm good. You know what I mean? I'll try not to do that again. If I do, I'll let y'all know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you got people that are gonna be there for you.
Yeah.
Just and whenever you switch games, I think that was a big thing for me too. I was playing, one game super heavily, Apex. When Overwatch came out, I was kind of hesitant to switch games because I didn't know if people would, want to watch that, but nothing changed.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing changed. Like they were there for me.
Yeah, but that's all a lot of people don't understand is like a lot you get tied to one game and it's fine and you could be a sweat at it, but your community is there more for you than the game.
Yeah.
But it takes that time to build that back and forth.
It does.
So and you were hesitant to switch a game because you didn't think people were gonna watch.
Yeah.
And while you're doing, you realize like, oh, doesn't matter what I play. These fools are generally wanna check. Because I do like scary games, I do Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
And just because like I get to the point to where like let's see what Jimmy's playing.
Yeah.
And I make reels because I'm the entertainment, I'm the content, I'm the niche, not the game. So people generally want to see what my ass is gonna fucking break my legs on Warzone or fucking getting scared on a random, you know what I mean? People want to see that. And it's cool because that motivates you just to keep doing what you're doing because people genuinely are fucking with you for a reason.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Breaking your legs.
Yeah, right, dude, all the time. I pulled the fucking button. I swear I did. You fucking suck, Jimmy. I was like, I don't know. But, with the whole content creation, you're going 3 years. And it's like being a full-time creator, like in your brain as a possibility, or are you working toward that? Because one thing I have learned is that people stream and create content for different reasons.
Yes.
Not just money, not for fame, not for everybody has a different, goal. So what's your goal when it comes to an ideal life?
It's definitely not for money for me. Because if it was, I would have been stopped.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been.
Oh my God! I'm glad you said that.
There just wouldn't have been a way.
Hey, y'all think that we making money? We
Yeah.
ain't really making money. But
it helps me.
Yeah.
Like it does help me. Like just get stuff out. You know what I mean? Like it just helps. It's an outlet for me, and I'm already on the game quite a bit anyway, and it helps me and it helps other people. That's kind of why I do it. Full time, it would be nice, but I would have to change some things.
Yeah,
that I'm not sure I'm willing to change.
Exactly.
Quite yet.
Yeah, and that's cool because it's okay.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I told people is like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you do that? In my brain, I wasn't telling people this, and I sat back and I was like, maybe they don't want to.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't want to be a full-time creator.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to get paid. Maybe it's like what they want to do is what they want to do for a reason. And after that helped me understand myself.
Yeah.
Because I have a 9-to-5 job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That pays for my mortgage, insurance, and shit like that. I can't give up that X amount of money and throw a fucking, a fucking long ball, a Hail Mary, hoping this works.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Within reason, I'm starting to make the moves that could possibly get there, but I'm not. So that's why I'm not worried about the money or the numbers, because financially I'm not, waiting on this for it to work. I'm realistic. So every time that I talk to full-time creators, I respect the fuck out of them that are making a living off of it, because it is fucking hard.
Yeah, they have to move different.
Yeah, I respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah, and if you want to become a full-time content creator, you have to move different. Like the 9-to-5, you know what I mean? Like, and I also, work as well. So it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
If you want to be full-time, you're gonna be full-time, and you're still gonna be working full-time and more.
Yeah, and you're not gonna make the amount of money you think you are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
especially starting off. 100%.
Yeah, man. I think within reason, and I like how you say, like, hey, I could lead to this and lead to this, because I'm realistic. As like, I thought I wanted to be a full-time full streamer, and once numbers and things weren't hitting, then it made no sense, because I'm balancing my life. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I have a full-time job, I have other responsibilities, but I'm pushing this too. But if I'm pushing this and dropping everything else, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
So that balancing, it took me a while to get there, to where I felt confident and comfortable moving how I'm moving to pursue this the way I want to.
The balance is the toughest thing. That, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times it doesn't seem like you made the right decision, whenever the balance is off. But typically you're making a decision that kind of feels good in the moment, which again, in hindsight, may not have been the best, but it's a hard balance when it's a lot of things that you love that you're trying to make time for. And I do think that's the hardest thing about switching into the mode of full-time content creation as well, rather than, just kind of knowing what time you have to split with other things.
That's cool. That's a good way of putting it that way, because I was like, I there was a small period of time, and shout out to my wife. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're locked up in that room all the time. You know what I mean? And you're not fucking doing shit out here." But in my brain, I'm like, "No, I gotta fucking go." You know what I mean? And but having that
still
partner,
like that.
Yeah, no, but that's good. That's what we have. My wife, like, I'll stay up late sometimes.
Yeah.
And she walk into the room like, "Hey, you need to go to sleep." I was like, "Yeah, I'm almost done." She's like, "But you've done this 3 nights in a row." I was like, "You're right." You know what I mean? So, like, within reason, you have to have that step back to balance all the stuff you were saying, because I don't want to be a shitty father. I don't want to be a shitty husband. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I keep up with my career that's paying all my bills. So I can't just drop all that shit and going all on this. That makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
But having that step back and looking at that way helped me grow to understand that for me, in my journey, in my path, in my growth, I need to make sure everything else is good, because a shitty father Jimmy, or a shitty father streamer, shitty father husband is not overall good for everybody. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good for me. It's not good for everybody. So when I was like locked in and trying to just see if this would went full time, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Like, not the way I thought, but it helped me grow.
Yes.
It made me more be realistic with how I was going about. You know what I mean? So
you definitely learn from that, because whenever you make that switch on, because it is, for me anyway, it was a switch. It was like, okay, I want to do it. And now you're investing into things like PCs and, cameras and microphones and that type of thing. So once I start spending money on something, then I kind of want this to work. But when it was that time, once that switch happened, it's just harder to, look at other things.
Yeah.
You just want to be good at this.
Yes.
You want to make this work. And that's also when the balance is at its worst.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, first starting, because it just doesn't make sense. And like, naturally, it also doesn't make sense. Like, you're spending time on you're spending a lot of time on something that's not really giving you anything back. Until you start building a community, and so you start having an effect on other people and, the way they live their life, because they're, kind of, I wouldn't say reliant, but it is something, it's
positive.
It's a part of their day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are waiting on you, to go live and to, chat it up with them.
Yeah.
But I do think once you make that switch, it is hard to make that balance, and the balance is the most important thing.
One thing about content creation, tell people all the time, it's like, it's you don't have, like, I've gotten better, and my wife's called me out on it sometimes. She's like, "Hey, enjoy the moment. Don't always try to record or take pictures." And I have to switch that off, sometimes, because you're always thinking content. You're always thinking content in some different ways or whatever. Throughout the day, I'm thinking about little different things or topics or shots or reels or whatever. And when I'm with my family, I've gotten better with time to just stop.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment, hang out with the kids, have a dinner, and just, disconnect.
So to be honest, I'm actually the opposite. I I have to be told to take more pictures, kind of like grasp the moment a little bit more, because I do tend to live in the moment. I don't really have my phone out a lot, but luckily I have people around me that,
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, going back to the balance, like if you want to be a content creator, you kind of have to switch that in.
Yes.
People like to get to know us and what we're doing and things like that and stuff like that. So having that I should take a picture, or I could share this
and I
not
do
share everything.
Yes, 100%. I do it more than I would have without being in this space. If I wasn't in this space, I wouldn't really do it at all. But because I am, it'd be like, this would be a cool moment to capture. But again, it's a lot of balancing. It's a lot of balancing. That's the main thing.
Yeah. So like you mainly your main platform is Twitch, right? Or
now
do you switching around, or?
Yeah, right now it is Twitch. I came a little bit away from Facebook, but Twitch, and then I'm promoting my Kick right now.
There you go.
That seems to be the way if you want to start making money.
Yeah.
That looks like what you want to do right now. But
as far as you're right, because I was talking to other people about just the platform jumping and other people saying not. I've always been variety streaming. I've always been on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. I've always variety streamed, and then recently when Twitch changed the term of service, I switched out Twitch, but I added Kick.
Yes.
Because like for me, I can't stream as much as I would like. So a lot of my content is off stream content or podcasts and stuff like that, because I can't dedicate enough time to be live. So when I do go live, it's planned, and it's times like this, but it's never on a schedule. I just let my community know, or people come by when they can, because I can't invest that much time because of the balancing. And it's not a bad thing. I just know that for me, I can't go live as much as I would want, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But when I do go live, I plan it, let people know, and while I'm streaming, I'm creating clips and reels in my brain, and I'm clipping stuff because to supplement the time that I'm not live.
True. I'm definitely an advocate of having your, like, if you just want to grow, just be on everything. I have to do, better with that myself. But if you do, if this is what you want to do, just get on every platform, post content. It could be the same content, but just post everywhere just to get your, just to get out there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, lock down to anything really, just like put all your time into one thing. But I would definitely, try to look at branching out and a lot of things.
That's what I do. I don't feel like I have enough strong community in one platform to where I could just bank on that. So for me, with streaming, just as part of my content, I'm everywhere. So if I'm streaming, it doesn't matter what platform you want to watch me. I'm live, and you can watch it anywhere.
Yeah.
And then, my TikTok, my Instagram, and all that, I post the same reels to everywhere. So if you just watch me on YouTube casually, I have people that watch me on YouTube and they don't follow me anywhere else.
Yeah.
But they'll be able to watch my short that I posted on TikTok or Facebook or whatever, because I'm just putting it everywhere.
Yep.
I'm just like, I'm already did the work. I might as well just
get it out
start
there.
putting out there so somebody can come across it and cool.
Yep.
And if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit there. Because I've had certain videos or certain shorts and reels that hit here and don't hit here. So it's weird. I was like, how did that get 1,000? They got 30 here. I got 10,000. I got 30 views. Same hashtags or whatever. Then you start realizing that hashtags matter on certain platforms, and you go from there.
I'm glad you went there.
Yeah, man.
For me personally, I create content that I would watch, which might not be that popular. So it does take also a change in mindset, possibly, if you want to go to that next level. Because you have to start doing things that you wouldn't normally, do. Because like I said, I create content that I like. If for viral content, there's a lot of other things that you would either implement or take out of the things that I personally like to watch. But that's just one of those things. If you want to be next level, you gotta change things.
Yeah, it's I always tell people all the time, it's always ever evolving, always tweaking and kind of keeping up, and trends or not trends, and what do you want to pick to do or not do. I think how you said it earlier, just like if you're happy and you're doing stuff that you'd want to watch, eventually you're gonna get the right type of people to watch your stuff. Because a lot of people feel like, I'm trying to just get everybody to watch me. Not everybody wants to watch you, and it's okay. just understand that the people that do find you, as long as you're staying true to yourself and enjoying what you're doing, the right type of people are going to find you and support you.
True. And do you really want everybody to watch you? Like you kind of want your people. So that's why I also always just try to stay me. You know what I mean? Whatever I'm doing, I'm me. So if there's anything that does come out that's weird, people are gonna be like, bro,
you normally don't do that shit.
Yeah, what the hell is that, bro? And they gonna check me, bro, because they feel comfortable enough to where I'm going to be honest with them about what it was.
Yeah.
And that's just what you will eventually build by being yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna have people come to you like as a content creator just because of you.
Yeah.
They're not like you said, they don't really care about what game you play. A lot of people, a lot of them don't even play the game.
Yeah.
I just noticed that. Like they like to watch it, but they like to watch you.
Yeah, I watch people play random I'll watch people play Tarkov, and I'll never play Tarkov in my life. And only because I like that person and how they present and the way they play, it's entertaining for me to watch it for short periods of time or check out their content because I like them. I don't really fucking care about the game, but because it's them, I liked it. You know what I mean? And I like the shit.
That's also a good thing for people that are trying to get better. If you can't watch your own content, it ain't it. You know what I mean? Like if you can't have a good time watching yourself do your thing, you might want to change some things up.
Right.
But it is all about what you want to do and what you are comfortable with as far as what level you want to take.
Right. And then that goes back to where I was saying, it's like everybody creates content and everybody's in their own lanes. I'm just always a person that says, hey, don't bitch about it not working your way if you're not doing everything you need to do. Because I've had casual or hobbyist streamers and they're okay just going live every once in a while saying what's up to people. And then I see people that, man, I'm streaming 8 hours. Ain't nobody showing up to my streams and just bitching. I'm like, dude, the blueprint is watch the 1% of the 1%. If you're not doing nowhere near that, then don't bitch about the numbers.
100%.
If you ain't gonna go all in, you think you're going all in, you ain't going all in, man. But with this end of the year, what are some short-term goals that you see here before I get you out of here? Like before this end of the year, what do you see yourself doing, and as far as your content and stuff like that?
I think my content will shift back over to more competitive sports with the new NBA 2K coming out and announcing that it's cross-platform, because that's most likely, well, it's been my main game for a while. Just in recent years, I haven't enjoyed playing it, but with it being cross-plat, everybody can play everybody now. So it kind of changes, the dynamic of that game. I'll be playing that heavy. As far as content creation wise, I just want to grow and meet more people that, we just share ideas. And even if we don't, we can have healthy debates. That's another thing as well. You don't have to agree on everything. You know what I mean? Like if you don't agree, it's okay to agree to disagree and just be like, okay, that's your way, this is my way, and still be cool and, not have any, I guess,
bitterness or ill will toward
100%.
anybody because they don't agree with what you're saying. I like that because I like I said earlier, I was like, I want to talk to everybody. I want to see people's vibes. Sometimes I want to talk to everybody. I might, I'm sure if someone's like, oh, Jimmy's too much, that fool's crazy. Like, I can't fuck with him. And that's okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? But somebody else is like, hey, Jimmy's cool.
Jimmy.
So it's cool. It's nothing personal. You know what I mean? If nobody wants to get to know me, I'm not going to take it personal. 100%. I might not be your vibe or whatever like that. And that's cool. But just putting yourself out there, you said, hey, let me check it out this year. And then this, you get more comfortable being in yourself. Like, I feel like I'm always Jimmy everywhere I go because I'm comfortable with that now. Because before I was like, I didn't want my kids in the streams or in things. And I was like, that's me. Yeah, I play with my kids. It's who I play with my older son. You know what I mean? He's only 7, and I started playing with my younger son. He's 4, and we play Fortnite together. And then in my brain, I'm all, this is the dopest thing ever. As a dad, for me, I'm playing video games, I'm streaming, and I'm playing with my kids. How could this not be better? You know what I mean? Some people might not like that, and it's cool. But some people are like, that's so cool. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I look forward to what you got going on and shit like that. And now I know where you live.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes,
So
sir.
so
Yes,
it's
sir.
cool. Like I was like, God, I'm such an idiot. But I always tell people all the time, and I have no problems telling people that I'm wrong or I don't know. I'm never gonna pretend like I'm gonna just know everything.
No,
Yeah. Like, no, I forgot. And I was like, did we have that conversation? You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's dope, man. I'm glad I got to see you here.
For sure.
You know, I reached out to you and you're like, yeah, for sure, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, man.
For sure, man.
I look forward to just seeing you grow before I get you out of here, man. Plug yourself, let everybody know what your schedule is, what you've been playing, and all the different platforms you're on, bro.
So again, it's Legarius Games. I'm mostly on Twitch, but I am starting to do Kick as well. Legarius Games on
Spell
all
that out
platforms.
for the homies.
LEJARIUS Games. GAMES.
Right, and I made him spell it out in all the description. It'll have all his links down here. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for your time, bro. Hell yeah,
time.
man. Look forward to just getting to know you more and more, and maybe build a friendship off of this acquaintances.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like that.
It's about to be lit.
Hell yeah, man. GG's, man.
Yes, sir,
Y'all, man. Y'all make sure you go check them out on the different platforms, man. We're gonna be continuing talking to different people here at the meetup. And until next time, peace out, homies.
Hell yeah, bro. That was lit, dog.